Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But
if Kermit,
you're saying
like
not to do.
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of the Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
my wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I'm Lisa. This is Fozzie. And Kermit is watching from heaven. Fozzie, you don't like your costume? If you don't recognize me, I'm the Hawaiian version of Pinky, our former guest. And so happy Halloween. We're doing this show on Halloween. Typically our Halloween shows aren't very good. If I remember our past 2015, if you didn't know this, I used to do Kermit and Friends for 1 year in 2015, okay? But I got trolled off of it pretty much, and I'd stopped doing it. But now I picked it up again, and it's better than ever. We have incredible guests. New people have come to us. God has really blessed us with this show, and we're just so, so lucky. We have new people that have brought unbelievable stories here. I have a new co-host. His name is Wheezy. Everybody welcome Wheezy to the show. Happy Halloween, Wheezy.
Thank you. I love your costume.
Thank you. I like yours.
I was going to be Santa, but it didn't work out.
Costumes don't work out for me. I always have like a costume set up, and then I mix different costumes together. Like I was going to be the cowgirl version of Pinky. I had all these.
Oh, yeah. That would have been cool. I would have liked that.
I think that's coming up soon. And then Fozzie has his lobster costume. Did you go out last night?
No, I didn't. I stayed home. It's too scary out there.
I know it is scary. I'm going out tonight, and I'm going to be dressed up as Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm going to her bar, and if she's there, I don't know how she's going to feel about me dressing as her.
I'm sure she's going to love it. Are you kidding? Are you going to take lots of pictures?
Yeah, I'm going to take lots of pictures. Last night, I got invited to the Playboy Mansion party.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I got invited. But like when you get older, you start to make excuses of like why you shouldn't go out.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So like last night, I was invited to this Playboy Mansion party, and I was like, okay, I don't really have a costume. I don't have a real costume. So that's my first excuse. My second excuse is you actually need to park at the UCLA parking garage. Like, who wants to do that? That's weird.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have to take a shuttle to like the secret location where it is.
Gosh.
It's just like, oh my God, I cannot imagine even going through one of those steps. So because of my age and just being like tired of life, I'm just like, no, I just really can't go. It's too late. It started at like 10 p.m.
Too late. That's way too late. I agree.
It's way too late. 10 p.m. There's just no way. And I mean, there's just so many things. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it was like 20 years ago, I would have gone. But yeah, I just stayed home and I just looked at Discord all night.
Well, it's been very entertaining lately, so I'm sure you were very entertained.
I was. So, catch us up to the people that are not on the Kermit and Friends fan club. They're not in the Kermit and Friends Discord. What is going on in there?
It's nuts. Recently, Bob has been the subject of everyone's hate. And so Bob was kind of chased away for a while, and he went into hiding. Right. And I heard that today he has some revelations for us, which I'm really, really excited about. But it's just been a lot of like, he said, she said, people leaving, people coming back, everyone hating Bob, and then people kind of liking Bob. I don't know.
What? That is so weird. I always think it's weird when people like leave Kermit and Friends and then they come back and they make a big deal of it. It seems like some of those people just want attention. So I don't give those people attention at all. But yeah, don't use Kermit and Friends fan club as like, something to feed your ego. Just try to enjoy the people there and make friends.
Exactly.
Like you have. Yeah, you've been perfect in there. You're making so many friends. You're nice to Bob. One thing is we have multiple people stepping forward today as Bob's twin brother.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have unbelievable amount of people because he claims to have a twin brother. And then did he retract that?
I don't know. I think we're going to find that out today, but I find it amazing that he got a twin brother that was separated at birth with the same exact first, middle, and last name. I mean, what are the chances?
Yeah. Like if you have twins, like I've never had kids, but if I had kids and I had twins, I think I'd name them different first names.
Right. Well, he was separated at birth, so that means a new set of parents got him, and then they named him the same exact name with the same last name. It's unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, the stories that go on here are incredible. I get surprised every day. Bob even quit the show for a couple days. Why do you think that happened?
I think that he was getting bullied, and I think maybe some information came out that he didn't like, and I think he's going to address that today. But he was pretty much being bullied, and he kind of ran away. I've been trying to get him to come back because I think Bob's a very important part of this community. And, he shouldn't be chased out of anywhere. If we disagree, we can block each other.
Exactly. I was so sad about Bob being bullied out of this community. I felt like I felt like I was responsible because I brought him in here. I met him on the Drunken Peasants podcast. As soon as I saw him, I knew he was a superstar.
Oh, he is. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a complete superstar. He's amazing. He's interesting. He's unique. He's handsome. He's intelligent. He brought a big crew with him. And I mean, there's just so many good things about him. He's your co-host in what? What is he your co-host in?
The Kermit Real News Network. So basically, I'm trying to help him, but I think that, he might have erased that YouTube in the past week, and I don't know if he's bringing it back. But I would love to still be his co-host, and I hope he keeps me as his co-host.
I'm going to ask him that in a second. But first, I want to show you how sad I was when Bob left. I was just walking home from work one day, and I was just so depressed and thinking, man, if I never see Bob again, I don't know what I'll do. So I decided to sing about it. Bye-bye, Bob. Goodbye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I feel like I could cry. Bye-bye, Bob. Goodbye, butthole challenges. Hello, Democrats. I feel like I could Goodbye, Bob. Goodbye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I feel like I could cry. Goodbye, Bob. Goodbye, butthole challenges. Hello,
Democrats, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, Bob. Goodbye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I feel like I could cry. Bye-bye, Bob. Goodbye, my old challenges. Hello, Democrats. I feel like I could die.
I love Pinky. I love Charmin. I love all of the other guests that she's had on her show for the most part, except for the ones that don't like her. Well, pretty much I don't care about them already anyway. So, I mean, there you go. But we get to have fun with it. That's the thing about it. And we
Bob, I'm so happy that you are back.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. So I know that you had big breaking news today. I want to get to that first, but then soon after that, I'm going to bring on your alleged brothers.
That would be really cool if they actually found him. I would love to meet this guy again. I didn't like him when the first time I met him. He's a complete opposite of me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he's like. So what is this news that I've been hearing about? You said you had big breaking news today. What is that news?
Well, I decided to, I've been hiding this for a long time because it's so embarrassing when you get falsely accused of something, but it's on your record. So before I get started, I want to thank, believe it or not, first and foremost, Kermit and Friends, all of you. But in particular, also, I want to thank Rob DeHaven, Kelly and John Taylor, and believe it or not, Rick and Christina, because without them, I never would have faced all of this and come out to tell the entire story here today, which is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So this took a little soul searching. I had a little talk with some people here in the house about it already, and everything's understood here. I mean, it's duh. Okay. I want people to understand that this case was deferred. It's deferred out, like deferred adjudication on the traffic ticket. It was deferred for 6 years. That is true. That was me. I did lie because it was so embarrassing. I was always able in the past to blame it on my twin brother. It's so funny. But due to the damn persistence of Rob DeHaven in the gang, that wasn't going to happen. Man, did I train them well. I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, actually. I'm so glad to say it. Here's the deal. I was turned down a job over this one time. I had to turn down one of the most gorgeous petite black women I ever met in my life, who was begging me to have a relationship and marry her because I did not want to hurt her because I had this stain on my record at the time. This happened when I was 23 and 24 years old. I had met my then future wife and invited her over to my apartment. She came over and she brought with her her then best friend. Mm-hmm. Her best friend at the time was 5'2", 365 plus pounds.
Okay, so an overweight friend.
Oh, that's way more than overweight. You could roll her on her side and she looked like she's walking.
Okay.
So, and she's ugly to boot on top of that. I didn't think, oh, God. And so they brought over some drinks. We had some drinks. Her friend, I guess, had drove them two over here. So I can understand her not wanting to drive home. She could sleep on the couch, right? But instead of going to sleep on the couch, my then future wife, she lays down on the couch. So her friend goes and lays down on my freaking bed. Now, keep in mind, I live in a very small one-bedroom efficiency. It's not big at all. That's me. It's not big at all. It's tiny. And it got the kitchen, it's got the bedroom, got the bathroom. That's it. So what happened was I pleaded with her to get out of the bed for them to switch. She didn't want to get. She didn't want to move. She was tired, drunk, and And I didn't. You got to understand. I didn't want to call the cops on her just to get her out of my apartment because I understand that they're best friends and she'd been drinking. And the bed's plenty big enough. I could technically sleep on that side. But here's the kicker. I used to drive a concrete ready mix truck back then. And back then they did not have the 10-hour or 12-hour laws. I think it's 10 hours now maximum that you can drive per day or work. Unless you have a traffic emergency. And then I think you could take it over 30 minutes or whatever. So I really don't know the new laws now because I haven't had to work in 10 years. So I've been retired for that long. So, but back then, way back then, there were no laws on this. I was working 12 to 16 hours per day. And during the busy time of the year in ready mix, ask anybody in construction. That is one of the hardest jobs known to mankind. And I worked from Monday to Saturday, 12 plus hours every single day. I was tired. I was so worn out. Oh my God. And then I'd had a little bit to drink, not much. I had a little bit. And then I finally just decided, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. Everybody just go to sleep. Fuck it. The door was open. I go to sleep. Wake up the next day. She's leaving. I said, all right, well, glad you came over. Try not to, get so drunk you can't drive home next time y'all come over. And so they left. Okay. And then I get a call from my girlfriend and she says, Bob, she went over to our other best friend's house where we met and told them, and this is a quote, and y'all can read it in a court transcript. I think that Bob might have raped me, but I don't know.
Did you have sex with that woman, Bob?
No sex. We go to court. There is no evidence of sex whatsoever because there was no sex. Her problem is they asked her how the night went and she couldn't tell them. Well, I slept in his bed and Mandy.
Why did the sources say that you pled guilty? A plea bargain?
I will get into that.
Okay, get into that.
I'll get into that.
Okay.
Can't be very soon. I got to tell the story right. I told you got to give me the time. You can't just rush this one. So, but it'll be faster than you know. So what happened is, okay, they forced her to call the police if it was true because they don't believe it. Anybody knows me knows that ain't never going to happen. So then what happened was she got on the phone and made the same statement to the police. They came out and took her deposition. They came to my place and took a recorded deposition. And the next day they came back and arrested me and charged me with the crime of raping her with a deadly weapon. I said, what deadly weapon? And they said, well, she said you used a knife. Well, there was no knife involved except for, I own knives just like anybody else. And something about panties, which I still to this day never read the doc. But my wife had brought that. There were she didn't leave her panties there. There were no panties. I don't know nothing about no damn panties. So all of this came up in the trial. I never did get up and give testimony on the trial because my then attorney, who sucked, convinced me that because I had a public intoxication from my brother getting drunk and causing me and my other brother to get arrested along with him because he's a dumbass. He died from trying to steal drugs again. He used to own a $50 million house from stealing drugs. And he got caught up too, I guess, and they hung his ass from a tree because he's stupid. And he never had a legitimate job in his life. So I got that on my record. And I think there was something else stupid, a bar fight or something one time. And he convinced me that this is going to look really bad on me. Here you are drinking with her that night. Here you are, you got this public intoxication on your record. It could look really bad to get you on the stand. So I don't give a damn. I'm ready. Let's go. Well, he never did. He never did put me on the stand.
So what everybody's been talking about in the Kermit and Friends Discord about you pleading guilty to rape, that's false?
No, I'm getting to that. So here's why I took the plea bargain, and I'll tell you exactly what I pled to. I pled guilty to attempted sexual assault with a deadly weapon. But there's a good, legitimate reason why I did it. This judge was married to the assistant DA that was prosecuting my case. And that was illegal, and it's still illegal in the state of Texas. But as long as she was judged, the state allowed it. They never did nothing about it. There's more to this story. Within a year, I had cussed out both of these bastards one at a time. She had a long history of drinking and driving. You could see it on the news where Judge Sharon Wilson is in a car wreck, believed to be stone cold drunk kind of stuff, right? She never got charged because she's a powerhouse judge. I swear to God, she got pulled over. It must have been, I've seen like 8 to 13 times that she had been pulled over, and it made.
Frank, I have very bad ADD. Was there a knife involved? Did you bring a knife?
I'm muted.
Did you bring? You're unmuted. Was there a knife involved?
It's my apartment. No, there was no knife involved. I never threatened her with a knife. I never had contact with her outside of, get the hell out of my bed, go sleep on a couch, you know? And but anyway, so here's the deal. So she gets caught up in her own freaking lie. She has to go through with it. And I understand that. And I know that I had the case won because they deliberated for like 6 hours and they kept having to leave and come back, leave and come back. So, but here's the deal. When a drunk judge almost hits you with her car and you stop your car and block her and get out and cuss her the fuck out really bad, and you don't know she's the judge, and then when you run into her future husband at the store, who's a DA, and you don't know he's a DA, but he smarts off to you, and you turn around, motherfucker, just fucking touch me and I'll beat your fucking ass. You have this conversation, run his coward little punk ass off down the street. I guarantee you, when you show up in court and he's the DA and she's the judge, you're going to get fucked. I did try to get it out of the courtroom based off of those personal issues with the judge and the DA. He should have been thrown off the case. They should have reassigned a new DA, and I should have been granted a new judge. It was not allowed by the judge, of course. So my attorney said, look, you're probably going to win this case, but they're going to come back and charge you without the deadly weapon. And if they don't get you then, they're going to come back and charge you again just off attempted rape. But I can go get you a plea bargain and we can end it right now. Now, at the time, technically, yes, I worked that week, but that was my last week for the company. And I was at that time in between jobs because the layoff.
Bob, you're getting a caller. Just hold on 1 second. You're getting a caller. Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
How you doing? My name is Legal Latino Heat. What's up, Bob?
Legal Latino Heat. Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm Bob's old friend. I'm like having questions about his story.
Okay, what is your question for Bob?
My question to Bob is, why did you take the deal if you didn't have a knife? We're all confused in the chat. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, so I'm confused too because I was brought to court a couple weeks ago. And I knew I was innocent, and I didn't even have representation, but I would have never accepted something that I knew was not. You have to stand up for yourself, Bob.
I understand that, but here's the deal. I was 23 and 24 years old while this is going on. I never ever stepped foot inside a freaking courtroom before.
Oh, you were 23 when this happened?
Well, I was 23 when I had 24 when I just turned 24 when it went into the courtroom.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to tell you, they had me plenty freaking scared. They're going to keep charging me. And every time they charge you with the new crime for the same crime, they can legally do this, by the way. What happened is I'm out of money. I didn't spend all my money on this attorney who sucks. And I can't even get it out of this stupid courtroom. I know I'm getting railroaded. I'm scared as hell.
It is scary. I don't know what to say because.
So why not take the plea bargain? You're done with it. Now I got my life back because if I don't take the plea bargain, I'm going to go back to jail, have to bond out again. I can't bond out because I ain't got the money to even bond out, let alone hire another attorney. And
yeah. Attorneys are expensive. Yes, Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
Hi, Alyssa. Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, John Taylor. I just like to say that I think I'm believing Bob with what he's telling me in that case. And Bob, you didn't plead guilty to sexual assault with a deadly weapon. You only pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. And I even said, and I said even after that information was there, that there was some kind of problem with that case. And for the state of Texas to go through a trial, and if they have a weak trial, they offer plea bargains at the end of it if they have a weak case. And for them to allow you to plead and walk away with basically not being a convicted felon matches up with what you're saying. And so I just wanted to put that input in, and I it's good that I've had some arrests myself and that I'm not proud of, and I'm glad you're addressing it. And it sounds to me like what you're saying is the truth. So that's all I wanted to say, and it that matches up.
Wow.
With the probation, 6 years probation is a long time.
But what about that picture of Bob? That's the worst picture. I can't believe Bob looked like that. Look at him. It doesn't even look like Bob.
5 pounds, and I lost it all within a year and a half.
John, I mean, Bob, how much did you weigh? I mean, look at that. That's not you. That can't be you.
Well, that's me. In fact, I was 235 pounds right there.
Did they take multiple pictures and just use the worst one?
I think so. Let me tell you something else. The officer that was the investigating officer, I saw him on TV. They were thinking about charging him. The guy who beat out the judge in my case in the election the year prior was set up by the investigating officer. They caught it on videotape. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a piece of plastic. You could see the tip of it in his hand, and he never searched the car for drugs. He put it in there, and he jumps back, and he tells his partner, "Oh, looky what I found." And they never even charged him with the crime of setting that guy up for drugs. That guy got found guilty, and he never became the judge because he had to go to the penitentiary, and they called him a drug dealer. And he wasn't a drug dealer. He got set up. And that cop was supposed to be on desk duty until he retired. But instead, he weaseled his way into being a crime scene investigator. Imagine that. Because he had been on a force for over 20 years, and they did not want to have to go back and retry all of his cases.
Okay. 1 second, Bob. 1 second. Just 1 second. So some people are typing in the chat. Where are all these comments coming from? I can't see them. Okay. The reason why you can't see the comments is because you're not on KermitandFriends.com. That's where the main channel is. So you're probably on a smaller channel with like no people in it. So if you're watching right now and you want to make friends and see other people's comments, go to KermitandFriends.com. We're live there. Okay. So just real quick, I want to go through Bob's story. Even if Bob did do that at 23, people do change, right? I feel that way. Bob is a really good person now. Like if I was 23, I would have gone to that Playboy Mansion party 100% last night. And now at my age, which I will not say, there's no way in hell I'd go. So people do change. Let's welcome to the show Dr. Frankencock, who is going to be helping us answering questions. What are you answering questions about? Because I'm looking at your ad right now, and it says, questions pertaining to, but not limited to, penis enlargement, consorting with sex workers, entrepreneurial advice, the porn industry. Dr. Frankencock, he has got the answers. Dr. Frankencock, what are your thoughts on Bob's charges?
So here's the deal, Elisa. As you know, I was incarcerated myself wrongfully on 3 felony charges that were nonviolent for 18 months. And I pled guilty to misdemeanors at the end in 2019. Okay? I was wrongfully behind bars for 18 months. And you know this because we discussed it previously in private. And everybody knows about this in CAF. So I will tell you the system is completely messed up because when the U.S. government has a weak case, and I can say this about states too, what they will do is they will offer you a plea bargain just to let you out. Otherwise, if you don't plea out, they will do what's called superseding you. which means that they will keep bringing charges, like Bob said, even though you're innocent, just because they don't like to lose. Because they don't like to lose, the U.S. government at least. The U.S. government has a 97% conviction rate on felonies. I was not guilty of any of the felonies he charged me with, okay? And they knew it. They had overcharged me. And at the end of the day, just to get out, my public defender says to me on the phone one day in jail on a recorded line, he says, would you take a misdemeanor just to get out? And I'm like, of course. Just to get out. A penny misdemeanor is no issue. So it's like, it's not a big problem. It's like a DUI. It's like having a traffic ticket. But, spending 18 months behind bars and getting the shit beat out of you every day by people who are bigger and stronger, gang members, gang bangers, like all these kinds of people, creates an issue, that where you sustain bodily injuries and brain damage to the point that you want to get out and you don't want to be in there. So it's like, so I, after hearing what Bob said, it is a messed up system, and I completely understand it because I went through it myself, and I just have 2 petty misdemeanors, thank God. And the only reason why I pled out to those 2 petty misdemeanors was because they asked me to justify my time behind bars. The U.S. attorney didn't want to pay up to admit wrongdoing by charging me with 3 felonies I wasn't guilty of that they dropped. They dismissed those on the motion of the government. And then what happens is they come in and say, well, we want you to plead guilty as 2 misdemeanors so we can justify our time behind bars so we don't have to pay you. It's called wrongful imprisonment. And in the feds, that's $1,500 a day you're entitled to in wrongful imprisonment a day. $1,500 per day you're entitled to. So I was looking at $819,000 roughly, give or take, or more, just on wrongful imprisonment alone, not to mention the bodily injuries I've sustained.
I'm really glad they didn't put you in jail, because if they put everybody in jail, nobody would be on Kermit and Friends at all. So, okay, if anybody has a question for Barry, a sex question, he's standing by. Okay, I just want to hear really quickly from urethral sling awareness. Urethral sling awareness, can you just read us some facts about yourself?
What is a urethral sling procedure? Urethral sling surgery, also called mid-urethral sling surgery, is done to treat urinary incontinence. A sling is placed around the urethra to lift it back into normal position and to exert pressure on the urethra to aid urine retention. The sling is attached to the abdominal belly wall.
Okay, great. Okay, so urethral sling. Any thoughts on the charges against Barry, Dr. Frankencock, or Trumpster Bob?
Let justice prevail.
You think they're innocent?
No, I don't.
You think they're guilty?
Yes.
You think that they should both be in jail?
Maybe for a year each.
Yeah, but what will we do with Kermit and Friends if everybody's gone in jail?
We'll film them in jail.
It's not a bad idea. All right. So, we don't want all of our guests here going to prison. That would be, really bad for the show. Some scary things have happened this week. I wanted to ask Charmin, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
So, I was a little scared by something that happened to you this week.
Which thing that happened to me this week scared you?
Just everything. I was watching this interview of you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I watched everything. Yeah, I watched everything with you in it. You went on with Coach Love this week. She interviewed you, and they were very tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
I was very uncomfortable with a lot of the questions there. They seem to be coming like if I was in an interview like that, I would be thinking, oh, this is like a gotcha moment. This is a moment where they're trying to put me, in a corner. Did you feel like that at all?
One of the reasons why I've been avoiding this is because I don't want to talk about it, because there's all these questions that are going to be uncomfortable and hard to answer, and they're embarrassing, and I didn't want to. So
Yeah.
now I just kind of feel like whatever the question is, I just have to answer it and answer it as honestly as best I can. And there's a lot of stories coming around in this community about false accusations and how scary the criminal justice system is and how hard it is to fight the system, especially if you don't have money or connections.
Okay, gut feeling. Are Bob and Barry innocent?
I don't know what's going on. Bob feels like he was falsely accused. And Barry is very upset about what happened to him. And I know victims will fight for justice no matter how long it takes. And Barry doesn't ever back off of the fact that he was honest about this, that he was set up. Barry's been upset about this all along. We've heard about this since I got here in February. Bob has been very embarrassed about this and hasn't wanted to talk about it and has hid about it and has stepped forward because he had to. And I really think that's brave. And I'm proud of him for sharing his story. Some of this stuff happened 20 years ago, and they're still being tried in the court of public opinion. They went through the court system. Bob and Mark both went through the court system, and it's been finished. They've served their punishment, but they're being punished publicly every day of their lives and potentially for the rest of their lives because of this event. And I don't think that's right either.
Oh, you mean the pub, because they're in the public now on Kermit and Friends. I see what you're saying. I'm getting a caller. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Elisa, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, it's Happy Halloween.
Happy
Is there
Halloween.
any way that we could bring Dr. Frankencock back on? So I heard that he had, well, I haven't heard, but I know that Barry has seen the Charmin sex tape with his own eyes.
What?
And yes, he has. Is there any way we can bring him on to give a review? Obviously, he can't play it or show anything from it. But
Barry saw Charmin's sex tape that no one has except for that one person?
Yeah, well, Barry has it, yeah.
Well, maybe.
And have him give a review of it. It'd be great.
Okay.
Love you, Lisa.
Love you, Chad. Wow, I didn't know that Barry had that. How did Barry get it?
I'm not 100% sure. Witz did some digging and he discovered that she had profiles on multiple porn sites. And he told me it's possible I'm a porn star now. So I don't know. Barry could have anything.
Okay,
Barry promised to help me with this, actually.
Well, anonymous woman is serving me with something because she asked me for my address where I film Kermit and Friends. So we're going to have more paperwork.
Probably going to send a cease and desist.
Okay.
And cease and desists are fought with the truth.
Okay. I see. Okay, so cease and desist. I wasn't sure what to expect at this point.
Mhm.
Okay,
She's probably going to serve you with a cease and desist. She probably doesn't want her name to be said publicly anymore. For sure, she doesn't want anybody to know how she treated me.
But she's we never used her name, really.
Her name's been said here before.
Oh, her name's been said. Okay.
Mhm.
You know
Her
what?
picture's been shown here. She's probably going to try to pull down any video that she was on.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I mean, we gave her a shot to talk. I would have had her keep coming on. She was very hostile towards me.
I bet she was really mad at you. I'm sorry.
she was texting me I mean, I was at work. And it's
Save
funny.
everything. Don't delete
I
anything.
deleted everything. I deleted
Don't
it all.
delete
Oh, really?
anything. Save everything.
Well, Charmin, my inbox gets very crowded with threats.
Sure it
I can't
does.
save everything. Okay, so Dr. Frankencock, Charmin's video rated
Yes.
from 1 to 10.
So 10 Frankencocks out of 10 Frankencocks.
Really? Yeah. It was good. What did Charmin's tape look like? What did it
So-
look like? Yeah.
She was wearing pink bra and pink panties, and she was masturbating. She was rubbing her clit and was reaching down into her panties, and it was very graphic, actually. And she orgasmed at the end extremely well. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, I really saw the freaking video. I really saw the fucking video. And I have a copy of it. And actually, Charmin and I are now figuring out a way to possibly monetize this shit. And because her former campaign manager, anonymous woman, owes her a lot of money. And so since she threatened to blackmail Sharman, we figure we're going to pay off the debt by releasing the sex tape, possibly, or selling it, in other words. I mean, can you imagine a sex tape of a former U.S. presidential candidate out there, especially someone that's a Democrat and that was involved in a lesbian or bisexual relationship? You know what kind of shit that would cause in marketing for Sharman, especially for her fucking book sales? That's where I come in this whole matter as a fucking genius marketer for celebrities and athletes. Because this is the kind of crazy shit I do, where I leverage stuff like this to be able to bring her book sales up and bring her notoriety up and blows up somebody like this overnight.
Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Yeah, I have a question for the Dr. Frank and Cock. Is he ever worried that when he's on a porn set that he might get accused of assault with a deadly weapon because his cock is so big? I mean, it could be deemed a deadly weapon. I just wondered if he has to sign any, legal documents to avoid those kind of charges.
Doctor?
Well, I guess you could say my cock could be considered a deadly weapon with it being that big around in girth. I mean, it could be a deadly weapon. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so my scariest clip of the week that I put together with Sharman in it has Sharman being like aggressively questioned. Like I didn't like this. It made me uncomfortable. I was upset. Sharman is such a valued member of this community. I feel bad that she was treated like this. People may not agree, but I was sad when I watched this. I was very, very sad, and I was uncomfortable.
There is a big allegation that you are a terrible woman because you lost your kids. Did you lose your kids?
We all know what is said about the women that don't get their kids. And in Florida, the standard for visitation is 50-50. And I get every other weekend, every Wednesday, whenever he travels.
Okay. But the question is, did you lose your kids?
I feel like I lost them. My relationship with them isn't the same. But I'm always going to be their mom.
But in legal terms.
I mean, I still have legal responsibility. I can still sign documents and go to doctor's appointments and the school and all that other stuff.
So during our conversation, what I understand is that you did not lose your kids.
I lost them.
You lost some relationships because they didn't trust you anymore, but legally they actually chose to go live with their dad.
Correct.
Okay. And so I'm really trying to get down to business on this and be precise, because losing your kids legally is different from a kid deciding, particularly one of a particular age, is that, you know what, mom's kooky right now and I kind of believe dad.
Yeah, sure is.
So, I mean, did you know the questions ahead of time?
I mean, I had a general idea of what was coming. I know it's been said in the Discord chat this week. I know it's been said on some of the wrap-up shows. I had a general idea. I knew it was going to be rough. She told me to buckle up, so I did. It's hard. My ex convinced my kids that I assaulted him, and I can't even push vitamins and healthy food without them screaming no means no at me. And it's just, I lost a lot with my kids in this process. And I had a lot of problems with my court system and my local police and my guardian ad litem. And my guardian ad litem was horrible to me, but did me the solid favor of telling me to take whatever offer I could get in my divorce mediation, because if I stood in front of a judge, it wasn't going to go well for me. And the judge still didn't want to sign my mediation agreement because he felt I got too good of a deal. When I went to the police, I didn't say anything about my campaign. But when I went and tried to get a restraining order, I put in my documents that I was a registered Democratic candidate for president, and I felt like he was trying to ruin my reputation. And the restraining order process with the judges was horrendous. And the way the judges treated me was horrendous. And I went back to the police and asked for assistance in December after Zarina started telling me her story. And they told me to shut the fuck up and called me a bitch. I stood in front of one of the detectives and asked him what it would take for me to get the protection of my community. And he turned his back on me and walked away. I filed an internal affairs investigation. That took a strange turn as well. And it's hard to fight the judges and the police. And the quickest way to shut a woman up is to take away her kids. It worked real well on me.
Yeah. I'm sorry for everything. And I think that's true. I think your kids, folks that have kids, that's probably the most hurtful thing that can happen when you lose your kids.
My oldest is 26 and still doesn't speak to me over this. I still have a relationship with my teenagers, but I know once they turn 18, that might change. I don't know what's going to happen. It's just rough. And I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to accept the public embarrassment and humiliation that I knew was going to come down on me. But I'm glad I talked about it, because at least I can have an opportunity to find all the sex tapes and get them removed. And if Barry can get me $5 million, then hey.
Yeah, at least something good could come out of it. But Sharman, so Dr. Roy, he is so sympathetic towards you. I was talking to him this week a little bit. I did mention that you did meet up with Dr. Roy, okay? And you did mention that you thought you had a suspicion that he was friends with AW, friends with Anonymous Woman. Do you still feel that way?
I absolutely do still feel that way. And there's several things that have happened. I've told him I feel that way.
Yeah, Sharman, I'm being honest. I don't know AW. I don't know who she is. Good. I've never met her.
So. It's just that there was always a strange connection between us. When the timing that you popped up, the way the weird Miami trip went, right? There's been a couple of different things.
Wait, why was it weird? Why was it weird?
Miami was a strange situation, right? When I went down to visit Dr. Roy, I was having a lot of problems in my rental where I was living. It was a 2-story building, and the guy that lived below me was coming home in the middle of the night, drunk 3-4 nights a week, acting like he was a rock star, lighting up his electric guitar and electric drum. And when I went to go visit Dr. Roy in Miami, he said that I could stay with him at his rental. I slept on a cot. The people next door were loud and obnoxious and partying really loud. And in the middle of the night, I could hear them laughing and saying Elisa Jordana. And it just really felt like a strange setup. AW owns a home in Houston. So when Roy went to Houston, I was like, yeah, that's interesting. There's just a bunch of unique connections. Wow. And I've always and told Dr. Roy multiple times, I don't know what to think.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Houston last 2 weekends ago for my birthday because my cousins live there.
Yeah, and it's just a strange connection.
My aunt died, and so this summer I went to go visit to go to their memorial, and my cousins just wanted me to come down again because I haven't seen them in a while, and I hung out with them, and no,
yeah, I know, right? Like, even when you had your major tower moment and your car broke down and you lost your job, right? And you came back to Kermit and Friends, you sounded so sad about coming back to Kermit and Friends. Like you didn't really want to, almost like you had to.
Well, I was sad in general, when major things happen to your life, just like everybody, you feel sad about things. And so, those were just some issues when
it was just timing. And I certainly hope that you have no connection with her.
I don't.
But I have been suspicious since we met.
Yeah, I don't
And I've
know.
expressed that to you. I haven't, I'm not saying anything behind your back I won't say to your face. That's one of
Yeah.
the things that's different about me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who she is. I don't know.
It was just weird, like the way you looked at me before you gave me a hug, the way you talk, the way you walk. There was so many similarities. It almost seemed like a universal warning for me to just be careful.
Wow. All right.
The way the music would pop up when we were walking around, it was like a universal sign to be careful. So I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. Oh, so when you were meeting with Roy, because I was so excited that you were meeting with Roy.
I was too. I thought that he had this great dating thing that he was going to do for people dating through trauma, these great conventions that he was going to do. I was so excited about it.
And I still have those things going. And, you know, with life happening and all this, I'm still trying to put some, you know, conferences together, but I mean, I don't know what to say, you know?
Yeah.
So Roy, were your neighbors screaming my name? That's pretty cool.
So I don't know if they were there, but I did heard loud music next door to our places, you know, the place that I rented, an Airbnb. And, you know, Charmin said that they heard someone telling your name. And so, yeah, I mean, so this is like, you know, I don't know if someone was trying to follow us or something, or, you know, and, you know, stay all night, partying all night, you know?
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
So what did you think it meant? Like all those signs, just one after another like that every day of your trip. Did you think that Roy, like, did you think it was meant to be?
No, it felt like a warning. It just felt like a warning. A bunch of stuff happened and it just all felt like a warning. Dr. Roy asked me as soon as he came back if I wanted to go travel with him, and I said no.
Wow. So Roy, you didn't feel any of this during the trip. This is all news to you?
So we talked about it. We talked about during the trip. You know, there was like an instance next door where they were partying all night, and you know, Charmin said that they heard someone calling your name, and that was it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, you know?
Wow. So it's funny how we look at these things differently. Because when I think that, I say, wow, Kermit and Friends is getting more popular. But Charmin thinks that Roy somehow orchestrated the music.
Yeah, like maybe we were all traveling together.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Would you have ever done that? Would you have ever told your neighbors to?
No. Don't think he would have told the neighbors. I think that probably Zarina was staying in the room next door and they're friends. And she was deliberately making noise just to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know her. She has never contacted me. You know, so.
Wow. Okay. So, all right, Roy. Okay. We're going to take that. We're going to take your word, right? Charmin, can you take his word for it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know her. I am totally being honest, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. This kind of feels like my dating life when I'm dating a guy and he says, I don't know her. I never believe that.
Yeah. It was just it was so weird, right? Stuff kept coming up missing. Stuff was always coming up missing whenever she was around. It was just, you know, I have thought that she's been here watching me since I got here. So it just seemed like he's a mole or something. Well, I hope not. I would prefer that not to be the case.
If Dr. Roy is a mole, he's the best mole I've ever seen.
Good.
Number one mole, because you would have.
But my picker's broke, right? So
yeah, maybe I don't know.
If he gets through you, I'll trust him.
Yeah. Roy, do you enjoy your new role as mole?
Yes. I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to be identified as a mole. I want to be identified as a good person contributing to your show.
You are. You both are. You both are. Kermit and Friends. Yes. How can I help you?
Hi. This is
Eric Riggs on his campaign for second vice president of the United States of America.
Okay, Eric, your penis is out. That's why I'm not putting you on the show, because your penis is out.
Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for being so awesome over there.
Put your penis away and you'll get on the show, Eric.
God bless the prophet Elijah. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Okay. Everybody, we're going to now relax with a band, a beautiful band, Joni B and Friends. Everybody enjoy the Monster Mash.
Oh, you don't know how much trouble is getting on all this. All right. Okay, get in the back, get ready to dance. Okay. More fog, more fog. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. When my monster from the lab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. Everything's digging just to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls
Tell me, the sound is very low.
Sound is very low.
Okay, what?
Johnny, Joni, the sound is very low right now. Can you fix your audio? Because this is a very important song to play today.
I know. Now you got me. What's going on here now? My microphone is up.
Okay, but put the music up.
Full blast. Oh,
The
more
music.
more music? You want me to start
Yeah,
again then?
Yeah, start again.
Oh, that's a tricky one to do. All right, let's do this. Hang on a second. We'll get one last thing hooked up. I'll put it to the big amp then. It's probably going to be too loud now. Try it again. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. When my monster from his lab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From a laboratory in the castle to the master bedroom where the vampires suite. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. Zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking onward, dig the sound. Igor and Jane, like that baying hound. Outfit baggers were about to arrive when vocal groups, the Kermit King of Five, the man. They played the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They played the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and went, whatever happened to my twins? Then a twist. Now the mash. It's not a monster mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It's now the monster mash. Now everything's cool, Deck's a part of the band. And my monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this match was meant to. When you get to my door, tell him boys send you. And you can monster mash. And do my graveyard smash. gets on in a flash, then you can monster the mash. Ooh, mash good. Igor, you impetuous young boy. Mash good.
Daniel, what do you think of Dr. Roy? You think he was in cahoots with AW?
You know, I don't know about Dr. Roy or AW, but I think that just about everybody else that's come on here is guilty. These people are sociopaths, and they should be arrested immediately. Especially Charmin with her crocodile tears. I've never seen somebody cry so much without one tear falling from her eyes.
Oh, you think you think her tears are not real?
Well, it's not that they're not real. I just don't see any. I see her crying and I see her doing this, but I don't see any actual tears come out. What's going on, Charmin? Are you capable of crying, or are you some sort of reptilian that just is here to fool us all?
But Daniel, listen to this. Imagine you go to visit this guy, Roy. First of all, Roy's a handsome guy, right? We're not going to lie about that. He's a handsome guy.
Oh,
You know,
yes. I'm
he's
glad
a doctor.
some handsome Asian representation on the show.
Yeah, so he's a doctor. He's nice. He's charismatic. He's successful. He's a great Kermitarian here. So you go to visit that person, and then you're hearing music playing from restaurants, and next door they're saying Elisa Jordana. I like that part. But, different weird things are happening. How would you feel?
I know exactly how he feels because the same thing happens to me. Everywhere I go, I hear people saying, Elisa Jordana, Elisa Jordana. The popularity is insane. I can't believe it. It's like wildfire.
Yeah, but do you see how she would think that might possibly have been orchestrated by Roy?
Charmin, you look lovely in your vampire outfit today. It fits you well.
No. I'm the devil-worshipping Democrat that QAnon warned you about, allegedly.
Are you actually capable of shedding any actual tears?
Like, I'm surprised you haven't actually seen water and snot come out of my nose, because I think I'm an ugly crier. I even talked about on the Kathy interview, it wasn't worth it for me to put makeup on because I had streaks. I just don't wear foundation. This is my skin. I put a little blush on and a little powder and some lipstick and eyeliner. I got false lashes today. I got
the thing is, I think men cannot handle it when women cry.
I think you're right.
Because they hold in their feelings. That's what happens. They do not show tears. I know people on the show that have wanted to cry that have not.
I had years in the beginning of my life when I couldn't cry at all. And then I started to kind of deal with my drama in 2009 and 2010. And the tears turned on and didn't shut off. Like I should have been skinnier because I should have just lost weight out of my eyes and nose, right? Because it all comes together here. And now the tears come and they go, and they have more control over me than I do of them. They pop up when they feel like they need to come out. And I have emotions, and I would rather have tears than no tears. When I was numb, it wasn't capable for me to even deal with a lot of my traumas. So I would rather have tears. And I wish I didn't cry when I had to talk about things. And for that purpose, I do miss the non-crying, because people shut down as soon as you start to cry. And it's one of the reasons why it's so difficult to deal with survivors, is because they're emotional and it's hard for them to control their emotion.
Yeah, I just don't think that, I think that people think that when you cry, you're somehow weaker. But I don't believe that. I think it's actually stronger to show your pain. And I know that these people on this show have all had pain like that, and they all want to cry. They just don't want to show it. So I think you are actually stronger than them.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, this is really tough. It's hard to talk about. I hear that I'm a master manipulator and I cry on demand. And I if I wanted to pull the tears up to put on a show, I wouldn't be able to, because I don't have control of them. They have control of me. And it's something I'm working on. The tears.
Oh.
They pop up whenever they want. And it doesn't, I wish I could control it, because I would turn it off. There's a lot of times I feel like my message would be better received if I wasn't tearful and my voice wasn't shaking.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay, Barry. I mean, Dr. Frankencock, you had some words for Charmin?
Yeah, so Charmin, unfortunately, I spoke with the fucking asshole Kevin Blatt, who's always been an asshole towards me. He's the celebrity sex tape broker in Hollywood that actually did Kim Kardashian sex tape sale with Ray J. I spoke with him the other day after we initially spoke, and I saw the sex tape, and he said, nobody knows who the fuck she is. Nobody knows who the fuck you are, he said to me, which is bullshit because everybody knows me in the sports entertainment industry. I even proved it to him in media articles and all this shit. And then he goes on a rant and he starts going crazy on me. And he's like, well, nobody gives a shit. Nobody pays for porn anymore. So nobody's going to buy the sex tape for $5 million, unfortunately. But what we can do, Charmin, is we can release it on our own through... I actually have a porn company that I'm associated with now. That's new, but the guy's been around before. And listen to this. This guy I'm working for, I don't know if I should be saying this, but he's associated with some billionaire that's letters are JB. Okay?
Daddy B?
No, JB.
Yeah.
JB.
Jeff Bezos, Daddy B?
I can't say, but he's associated with some guy named JB. That's all I can say, a billionaire named JB.
Time to make sure we could just get it off of all the porn sites she put it on, to be honest with you. That's really, if we can't get money for it up front, I don't want to sell it on a click-by-click basis. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, we'll sell it on a click-by-click basis. And no, but it's not who you're thinking.
Oh,
I don't think, at least. But I can't say.
Click by click basis through Barry. That doesn't sound very profitable, right?
No, it doesn't sound very profitable. Can we just get it off of all the sites?
Yeah, just take it down, Barry. Just stop watching it and just take it down. We have a fan of Trumpster Bob.
Hey, I'm in. Can you hear me?
Who is this? Yes, I can. Trumpster Bob fan.
I was here for Bob, but I've got opinions on the other stuff too. I mean, what's going on with Bob? His channel's gone. What's happened?
So Bob, we thought was gone. Okay, we thought Bob was gone for good. It was very sad. Everyone was upset. And he's back. He has a very long story about his alleged, I guess he had a plea bargain or something. I didn't understand it. I have such bad ADD. It was just a very long story. But I forgive Bob. I think he's changed. He's not the same guy now that he was at 23. So whatever he did back then, I forgive him. He's good to me. He's good to the people here. So, I'm Team Bob.
Yeah, I'm Team Bob. Anyway, on the Charmin stuff, I was listening and, all right, if I followed correctly, she met this guy, Roy, and while he thought everything was fine, she was very uncomfortable about the situation, right?
Yeah.
And how long was she with him for?
Well, she went to visit him in Florida, and everybody was excited about it. And then afterwards, nobody heard a peep about it. And turns out she thought that he was connected to her campaign manager that broke her urethral sling and tried to destroy her career and is trying to serve me with papers right now. So she thinks he's in cahoots with her because she heard odd music on the street. She heard my name being said, and she's just very worried about that. And I guess she doesn't trust Roy anymore, which is sad because they were friends.
The suspicious thing I find about it is that he didn't notice her discomfort. Surely if you're spending a good amount of time with a lady and she's uncomfortable around you, you'll notice that, right? In some of her expressions, you're going to tell.
You know what? You would think so, but men actually, in my experience, they do not. Although he's more in tune to women than I think most men are.
Isn't he a doctor?
He's a doctor. Yeah, let me just ask him.
Be a smart guy.
Roy, were there any clues in the trip that Charmin was uncomfortable with you?
Well, she told me about what was going through her during the trip. Right. And so I was going down to Florida to do some things. And I invited her down because she lives in Jacksonville. And we didn't know each other. We just met down there. And so this is what happened. There's a lot of coincidences that's being tied with me that I felt like, the noises next door. I don't know who that was. I don't know why.
Elisa Jordana's more than a coincidence, right?
Well, I don't
That's
know.
not to say you're not popular, but
we
people
were-
don't usually shout it out loud for nothing.
We were supposed to meet Barry because she was going to meet Barry down there, and he didn't meet with us, right? Also, I went to go visit my cousins in Houston. Their mom died, and so I went to go visit them once during the summer for the memorial, and then I went to go visit them again a couple of weeks ago for my birthday. That's it. I didn't meet any person involved with her campaign down there, or my cousins live down there and I have friends down there, neighbors from where I used to live. And so we hang out and we went out, and that's the kind of thing. It's so, I don't know what to say,
Are you
right?
disappointed that she feels this way about you?
No, I'm not disappointed because people have their opinions on things. It's kind of like saying, Elisa, I'm going to LA to visit my friends. And, I don't know. And there was a connection somehow, and you felt like I was being untrustworthy of you or something like that. So it's like an accusation that, I just take it with a grain of salt because I'm not involved in that. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't like drama in my life,
Yeah, me neither. I can't stand when there's drama. I can't stand it, and it's like the worst. And then it's surprising, and you didn't
exactly.
I almost feel like it's some kind of test sometimes.
Well,
like it's testing you.
And so when this is something to learn from all of us because Kermit and Friends has this. Conflict, the basic element of conflict is two opposing beliefs. So I believe something, Elisa. You believe in something, Elisa.
Yes.
And so where do we find the truth? So last week when I was hearing all this, I felt bad for Charmin, and there was like two opposing beliefs, right? And so your audience kind of looks at it and says, well, who's telling the truth? And what's going on, And sometimes when you have two different sides of things, it kind of like there's a little bit of both, right? I don't know. We're just hearing all this stuff from two different people, and I heard the same things that that Charmin told me, and it's very painful. That's all I could say for her,
Yeah.
the things that she went through.
Yeah, it's horrible. And I hate that. I felt like there was an opportunity there to bring, AW on and come to some kind of conclusion where we could all speak and connect and, forgive each other. I thought that because once you forgive someone, I feel like you're let go. You can let go of it and you can move on. It's hard to move on until you forgive someone.
Yeah, I want criminal charges. I
For
want
AW.
criminal charges for AW, what she did to me, what she put me through. Her husband signing his name to one of my campaign checks is a felony. If I knew his name, I'd be able to go after him. I feel like they conspired against me to destroy me and my reputation, and she put me through hell. And there's a lot of weird shit that took place last year that I can't prove is her. I just think it's her. The things that I can prove is her is easy. It's the things that I can't prove that is so hard. And those are the things that polarize the nation. She's incredibly well connected. And a lot of stuff that took place last year with the QAnon stories, it was all very strange for me personally. And if there was anything that I could truly get across, it is my personal opinion that the Anon and QAnon is the anonymous woman. She's a really good storyteller, and I think everybody fell for her nonsense last year.
Okay, Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Lisa, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, the Charmin pity party, I think it's run its course. Can we bring Bob on, and can you ask him?
Yeah, let's bring Bob back.
Come clean about any influence that Mark Connors guy has been on him behind the scenes.
No, he's denying it. Everyone denies that. Yeah, I tried because, yeah. So
man, I was Everybody was really hoping he would come clean about
He's
that.
never coming clean about that because.
Carmen, I love you. I wasn't trying to insult you. It's just
No. Chad, being tired of this drama doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
No. Here, I just hung up. So here's the thing. No one will come clean about that. And I don't know why. That's fine.
About the Bob and Mark thing?
Well, so like Mark tried to pull the same thing on me that he's doing with everyone else. Because usually when someone treats, like if someone's gossiping, right, about someone, you know they're going to gossip about you.
Mm-hmm.
So the types of calls and texts that I'd receive from Mark Connors, I just figure he's doing that to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was trying to manipulate me. He was trying to get me to stop doing Kermit and Friends, which is very weird.
He tried to get me to leave.
Yeah, so I just figured if this guy's trying to get me to stop doing Kermit and Friends, convince me that he can do like something better than Kermit and Friends. I just said to him, then go do that. I'll watch it. If you can do something that's better than Kermit and Friends that people would like more and you can create a community, I will literally watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Kermit and Friends and I haven't seen him do anything. So that's why I'm just like not impressed with him reaching out to everyone here. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, John.
John, I just wanted to talk to both of you regarding Mark and maybe Bob too, if he's listening, and I'm sure he is. But Sharman, at some point, and I am making the effort to get you documentation, because I think if you're gonna be involved in this, especially on social media, you have to have a goal. And our goal with Mark has always been to put him in jail, and he's well on the way to doing that. Harry Brogan has accomplished that with a restraining order. I've got to call into your detective, and I will assist you in any way in getting documentation. If that's your goal.
Yeah, no, that's my goal. I want her in jail.
Sherman's got screenshots and all that, and we have a few of those, but those aren't evidence in a court of law. If you can get police reports, and that's what I'm talking to the detective, or trying to get him to call me back, because she went to this detective. He talked with her. He knows this information. He had to document it in some way. But if her goal is criminal prosecution, and I think it should be, if somebody is truly harassing and threatening you.
Is she harassing you now?
I am being harassed online by fake accounts. Somebody is stalking and harassing my children, my friends, and my family. Somebody is making fake accounts of my brother, who is legally blind and has very limited access to social media. There's a lot of things that have been going on. It was very different last year. It's different this year. It doesn't ever go away. And I think it's all her. Now, it's the things that I can prove that I can get prosecution on. The things I can't prove is what's most painful.
But why can't you prove it? I didn't understand that part.
Well, if there are fake accounts, how am I going to prove it's her? Right? Just because she likes to send me fake social media accounts and use my dog's name, right? Or whoever does this, nobody knew my dog's name, just her. There's a bunch of things a bunch of stuff that took place last year that really felt like it was her.
Huh.
It's so hard to explain, and it's so complicated, and I don't like being called crazy, right? I'm crazy, not stupid. And I want to make sure I tell the story right, because I know it is important to get buy-in. I feel responsible for creating a mess that I don't know how to clean up.
Sharman.
Bob, how are you?
I've never wavered from being Team Sharman, first and foremost. Everybody knows this, but after this show, I cannot say it on this show, it'll ruin it, but I just might have your trump card. But to do this, I'm going to have to ask John Taylor and Rob DeHaven that we bring back Team T-Bob to do this.
How can I help you?
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Something happened in my life here at this mansion, and I can't say nothing else about it, but you hit the nail on the head tonight.
And
With
I really
what?
want to.
With
I
what?
really
What is he talking about? Do you know? Nobody knows what he's
No,
talking about.
no, neither one of you know, but I will tell both of you right after this show, and next week we can talk about it, whether it was a good or not feed on my end. But I read something in what she said that we do need to look into.
Well, and I really want to encourage all the Kermitarians to anybody who has been supportive of me here. I feel like she's been here for a while, watching the feed, watching the Discord chat, and I've already spoken with somebody who has had their PayPal compromised and fake charges on their credit cards. So I want everybody who has been publicly supportive of me to make sure your passwords are updated, turn on your 2-factor authentication. She is a tech genius, and she's incredibly proud of it. She has long-running contracts with Google, with Snapchat. She is incredibly well connected. She is a tech person, and she's very smart and well connected. Protect yourselves.
All right, everybody change your passwords and watch our house band WAP.
It's a mystery to me. We have agreed with which we have agreed. I think you have to want more than you need. Until you have it all, you won't be free. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. When you want more than you have to think you need, and when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. Think I need to find a bigger place, 'cause when you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me.
I launched a campaign for president in June of 2018, and Zarina is actually somebody that I hired to be my campaign manager. She was drugged and assaulted at this party by 2 executives and 2 professional football players, and it was her belief that you knew the executive. She gave me a picture of a couple of young ladies that she said were also at the party, were also drugged and raped at that party. Yeah. And 2 of them have committed suicide. So I am curious if one of the girls that is her friend is one of them.
Dan, what do you think should be on the wrap-up show today? What do you think the topic should be?
Well, there was a lot discussed today. I'm really worried about Bob. He seems like a pretty genuinely good guy that can't really always control himself, maybe, because I hear him talking about these stories and these things that happen, and I don't doubt that they happen the way that he's saying, but he probably shouldn't have these things happen in the first place. So I think that that should be a major topic. And also, I mean, I got to touch on this again. Charmin, I no tears. I don't understand. And I also don't understand.
See tears? Okay, so you don't believe Charmin. You believe Bob, but not Charmin. That's interesting.
It's not even that I don't believe her. I just think that she's so full of it. She's like this sociopathic leader of the Mean Girls Club or the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I can't stand her. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, Charmin. I just don't like you.
That's weird. I think that's weird because she's so transparent. She's authentic. She brings her story. She brings people in. See, I love that. You could feel however you want. I disagree with that. I mean, even
she's
if
got you under her spell.
Oh, you think I'm in the Charmin vortex?
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of people would agree with me because I know not everybody around here is pro Charmin. There's a strong contingent growing.
Well, the thing is about Charmin is she definitely puts things out there. When you hold things inside, it's harder to judge people like that, right? So if you don't give up any information about yourself, how are you supposed to judge that person? But if you're telling people everything, I mean, she's really going far. I mean, she went on this interview the other day where I was so uncomfortable. I said, wow, they're like really pulling at her from all different angles. She's kind of stuck now. And now everybody knows everything about her. But that makes me love her more. But it is kind of confusing, if you should be that person or not. Like, I'm that person. I tell people everything. She's that person. Bob's that person. A lot of people here tend to be that person. Barry, Dr. Frankencock obviously is like that. But it's hard to be that. It's hard to be someone that's vulnerable and somebody that puts it all out there, even the bad things. Like I don't think Charmin's afraid to be wrong. She said, Dr. Roy, I think you're behind all this weird shit that's going down in Miami. She said that. And
see, these delusions, they're so far-reaching and so convoluted. I can't possibly believe this stuff. And to Mr. Trumpster Bob fan, me having an opinion about Charmin does not make me a troll. This is an open forum for us to have our opinions and to get to express ourselves. That I'm in no way any kind of troll. I'm here to contribute. I'm here to contribute content.
You are definitely contributing. I feel that even if you don't like Charmin, like I definitely like her. Nothing can change that. But I definitely like Charmin. There's something I wish that I would have known things that she knows a long time ago. Like, she wasn't afraid to say, like, this woman sexually abused me. She said that about someone.
No, they sexually abused each other. It's so obvious.
I don't think Charmin abused her. How did Charmin abuse her? Charmin, you didn't abuse AW.
How did I abuse her? What did I do wrong?
I don't know.
Teach me.
Your lies are so convoluted. I don't even know what you're talking about half the time.
How are they lies? AW said that she had sexual relations with Charmin. How is it a lie?
What am I lying about? I'm trying to be as open and honest as possible.
You're telling me you want to be president and you're off having like crazy ass threesomes, and
I think America would have liked it.
Exactly. And also Donald Trump.
I don't think it would have hurt my opportunity to get elected. I think that would have got me votes.
Absolutely.
I'd have marched her and her husband all over every platform everywhere.
Yeah, maybe from the crazy contingent of
I think that's what half this country is.
For you, but that's about it.
I mean, people are changing and they're tired of being shamed, right? Women are tired of being shamed for everything sexual. If men would quit shaming women for sexuality, they would have more fun.
Manipulator. You always have some way of making this about women's rights and issues. That's how you get everybody on your
side. Those are things I care about as a woman.
Can Trump talk about like sex stuff and be really disgusting, and people are like, wow, he's so great. And then Charmin is talking about sex and actually being abused during sex, and people are talking down to her. That does not seem right to me.
Doesn't it seem interesting to you how they come in defense of an abuser and shame an abuse victim? It seems like a real common trend, and I expected it. Right? There's going to be people like that out there, and that's fine. But I still think there's a lot more survivors out there. And I think there's a lot more good people out there who don't want to be mistreated. And until we're brave enough, until somebody's brave enough to have these conversations, we're not going to evolve through this. Like, our whole society is trapped in this sexual trauma. Women have been falsely accusing men. Men have been mistreating women. The Me Too movement came out, and all these guys started screaming that they don't know what's right and what's wrong. They don't know what they can do and what they can't do. It's like their mamas never taught them any manners, or their mommy issues are so bad that they can't bother to be kind to another woman. They just mistreat women. Women get shamed for their daddy issues, but we're just now getting to the tip of the iceberg on dealing with men's mommy issues. And there is an anger between men and women, and we have to have somebody who is brave enough to have these open conversations. And as dirty as Trump is, he's going to need somebody to come right back at him who's not ashamed to have the conversation.
No, but nobody can, because they're not like strong enough in what they're saying. They're too afraid of someone like that. No one is doing it. No one is doing. You're the only one. Actually, I haven't really heard anybody come forward like this in a way where it's different. It's a different kind of way where you're exposing yourself like on all sides. Usually it's just like, oh yeah, this person did this, but you're really showing all the sides of the abuse, because abuse, it confuses people, and they do blame the victim. They say, oh, then why were you there? Or, oh, then why did you talk to that guy in the first place?
What were you wearing?
Yeah, what were you wearing? That's a
You were
big
asking
one.
for it.
Yeah, you were. Why were you out that late? No.
Why were you out after dark on the beach? You have no business being there. Don't you know that's a recipe for rape? No, absolutely. And there were things that happened to me last year that were so impossible to pull together. I had the worst doctor's appointment you could possibly imagine in May of 2020. And I'm super upset about that too. And I've realized there is no way to fight that man while he is in office, because he has too much power. He can control too many things. He can have someone else reach right up inside you and hurt you too. And it was the most, I learned a lot last year. And the only way to beat him is if he is out of office. He cannot have the power of the United States behind him ever again.
Yeah. But people that do like Trump, like they defend, they say, oh, it doesn't matter his personality or how he treats women. He made the economy so great. It's like, fuck you. Like
the economy isn't that great.
No, but that's what they say. Or they say they always defend who he is as a person, which I think is the number one reason to vote somebody in, is who are you as a person? Are you a bad person? Come on. If you just listen to what Trump says and what he tweets and how he goes against people and turns people against each other and insults people, is that somebody that you'd want your kids looking up to? Absolutely not. And that's all that matters in this life. That's all I care about. That's all anybody should care about. Nothing else matters but who you are.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that across. I'm trying to be open and honest, because I really feel like he has pit us against each other. And I believe that anonymous woman was working for him. I believe that they told a bunch of stories, a bunch of lies, and they spread it all over the place with the purpose of pitting people against each other to start a war. And running the streets of Kenosha last year, the message I got is don't give them what they want. Just because they want a war doesn't mean you have to give it to them. And I knew that there was a better way to do it. And had I jumped on a stage last year in Kenosha and run my mouth, this could have been a lot more violent and a lot more aggressive last year. And that wasn't the right way to do it. I don't want a war. I don't want people pitted against each other. These lies that took over all over the nation and the world last year were done with a specific purpose of tearing us apart and making us fight. And it is unfortunate. One of the things I love best about Republicans is that they are loyal to a fault. And if you are on their team, they will support anything you do or say.
Okay, stop bashing on Trump and the men.
They'll believe any bad thing about a Democrat they
Let me tell
hear.
you, you just ran out every single Trump supporter on the freaking planet with your bullshit about Trump. And I'm going to tell you both. I'm going to get on to both of you with your bullshit about Trump. I met Trump when I was in the military. He don't even remember, but I've been to his fucking house with the golden fucking toilet.
Yeah, it's golden toilet.
Yeah, he does have a golden toilet.
Ra, because he likes to worship Ra.
Yeah, no, you
right,
need
he's a
to
gold
stop
worshiper.
with the bullshit.
You can check out the Esquire article and
people
see
call
all the
you a man hater.
documentation.
Charmin,
Oh yeah, because I'm a man hater.
Charmin, but you at this point are being nothing less than a Trump hating, man hating little bitch. And I'm going to tell
that's
you,
all you got.
Blank.
Right.
Yeah, because all your shit on Trump is bullshit. He did go for the wall. You fucking Democrats blocked the bullshit.
For the wall, and the wall is not going to stop anything. Indigenous people of this continent have been traveling freely across it for thousands of years until we discovered it, started raping, killing, and taxing whoever was left.
I got something for you. You need to get with me after the show. Okay? It's a big something. A very big something. Let's end all of that talk and hate. See, you're talking.
Let's end all the talk and
you
hate.
Went from victim to hater. Did you know that there is not one single woman's march against Trump to this fucking day that was not financially backed or managed by the Council on American Islamic Relations, not a single motherfucking female gathering. And I challenge anybody to this day on the fucking planet to find me just one. Because
I tell you what, you find out she was working for the Democrats and I'll switch teams.
No, you're full of shit on Trump. That's my point.
I don't think I am.
I know
I think
you
you'll
are.
just believe
Look,
anything he
a woman
says.
has sex with a rich motherfucker. Years later, he's so goddamn rich. He's one of the top 1%. Oh, he raped me. I could get popularity, write a book on this shit and all that shit. Look at that black bitch wrote a book. The only motherfucker bought 95 or 98% of her books was George Soros. Shut the fuck up. Nobody gave a fuck or believed her fucking bullshit story. But the media touted it out as a #1 seller. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if George Soros is backing you, you can do anything you want to do.
Swallow the facts. You got to swallow those facts. Everything I just quoted to you.
Where we get our facts from, Bob?
Anywhere. Look it up.
Is it an alternative site or is it one of those federally regulated ones?
Just Google it. That bitch was a gold digger from day one. She always has been.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. He's got so many victims that have come out against him. I think there's 26 right now.
What about the guy that sent out all the fake bombs to Democrats? He had the brand new stickers on his van after Trump's been elected? Yeah, right. Oh, he was a Democrat his entire freaking life until after Trump got elected, by the way. After Trump got elected,
I don't know who you're talking about, Bob.
Oh, that Casati guy, whatever the fuck his name was in Florida. Then what happened? To that guy? That guy turned around. He turned around as a Republican Trump supporter. It turns out he was the damn bodyguard at Trump's rape accuser's fucking strip bar. He was her personal hired bodyguard. So shut the fuck.
Okay, yes, Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was wondering, Lisa, is Trump still there? Bob, are you there?
Oh, he's there.
Okay, are you going to apologize to Rick and Christine today for the things, and to a lot of people for the stuff that you said about people and called names?
Well,
Gee, that sounds rather Trumpish that you were calling people names.
Yeah. Look, I play by their rules. Let me tell you this. I would love to apologize to Rick and Christina, but I refuse to ever talk to them pieces of shits again until they fucking apologize to me for stabbing me back 2 fucking times. They stabbed me in the back years prior. They owe me a fucking personal apology first. Until they get down on their fucking knees and beg me for an apology by doing that, they will never get a fucking apology from me. Now, I don't hate them. I respect them, but I will never apologize to them slime bag pieces of shit because they stabbed me in the back 3 fucking times. This is the last fucking time.
Third time's a charm.
Your baby doesn't love you anymore. Golden days before they end. Whisper secrets to the wind. Your baby won't be near you anymore. Tender nights before they fly. Send falling stars that seem to cry. Your baby doesn't want you anymore. It's over.
You know I really got a feeling. You know I really got a feeling. I'ma pull the fuck up on ya. You know I really got a feeling. I'ma set a fire on ya. It's just a matter of time now. Just a can of gas and I'll be burning your ass now. Pop the trunk, load the guns, on the road to the burning sun, cracking skulls skulls, spilling blood. On the road to the burning sun. Pop the trunk, load the guns. On the road to the burning sun. Cracking skulls, spilling blood. On the road to the burning sun. You know I really got a feeling. You know I really got a feeling. I have to bust a few shots on ya. You know I really got a feeling. I have to bust a whole clip on ya. It's just a matter of time now. Just a couple more rounds and I'll be taking your life now. Pop the trunk, load the guns. On the road to the burning sun. Cracking skulls, spilling blood. On the road to the burning sun. Pop the trunk, load the guns. On the road to the burning sun. Cracking skulls, spilling blood. On the road to the burning sun.
Okay, so we're going to have this wrap-up show. I'm pretty sure it's going to be hosted by Wheezy and maybe Trumpster Bob, okay? So Joni, I don't know what's going on. I can't really see you very well. I know you have a great costume. Can you show everybody your costume, Joni? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, you're looking really good. Okay, and urethral sling, you have a great costume. Everybody dressed up today. I really appreciate that. Everyone looks absolutely wonderful. Urethral sling, what are you looking forward to on the wrap-up show?
Just more stuff about what we learned today.
Okay, and did you get anything out of the conversation between Roy and Charmin? That was, to me, what stood out. It's just so fascinating to think that, trusting people, that's such a hard thing, especially here. I think this community has a hard time with that, with trusting people and just really unveiling who you are, doing that, and then having people go against you or thinking that people are against you. Sometimes it's very hard to tell. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hello, Lisa. It's Dave.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask because sometimes the arguments are so kind of detailed, it can be a little bit hard to follow. So is this Trumpster Bob's final appearance, or will he be back on in the future when he feels like it?
So Trumpster Bob was screaming at me and at Charmin today about Trump, which is such a topic. I agree with the people. It's like a played out topic. But the thing that I did not like is how people they go after people because of their views and no matter who you like or who you're a fan of. I don't really care, if you like Trump or not or who you like, but to go after people with insults because of their views seems wrong. And that's something that I noticed a lot. I mean, Trump does that. And also the followers do that as well. So that is something that I despise. I despise attacking somebody because of their views on something. So to me, that was bad. But I mean, T-Bob is Trumpster Bob. So we knew what he was like coming in here. We knew what his personality was. He has one of those personalities and he goes after people and he insults them, if they have a different opinion. So in the Kermitarian church here, we accept all people. We love Bob, even if he did that, even if he went against Charmin and, attacked her. And that is a very difficult thing. And that is something that is a struggle. And it actually makes me become a better person. Because ordinarily, if someone did that to a friend of mine, I would be, furious and be like, fuck you. But in the Kermitarian church, actually, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't just get rid of somebody because they attack someone for their views, because everybody is welcome here. And yes, I agree that Trump gets attacked more than anybody, but he also does the attacking. Usually people are more modest and more respectful. I mean, I've never seen a president be as much of an asshole as Trump ever, in my lifetime, for sure. So if like you disagree with that, that's okay. That's fine. It makes me know that when you come on the show and when Charmin talks about being a victim of sexual abuse and someone comes after her, that does seem like that type of stance. So I'm just aware of that.
It's a really complicated one because I don't know if you've ever read the children's book, The Tiger Who Came to Tea, but that's kind of Trumpster Bob because, like, if you invite a tiger round for tea, he's going to eat everyone. But that's kind of, the exciting part of Trumpster Bob. Like, that's what he does. Like, I understand what you're saying because, maybe if you're being told off in, your private life, then you might dispense with that person. But then on Kermit and Friends, then, he has been kind of loyal and he does have a particular function on the show that nobody else really fulfills in the same way. So it's a hard position for you to be in because what do you do? Like, loads of people are always saying get rid of Trumpster Bob, but then, do you just follow them or like? But then at some point, is Bob's behaviour too outrageous for you to condone any longer? So I don't really know what you're meant to do.
And it's so funny because like people are writing comments, right? So like there's a comment like Bill Clinton, great charming guy, also on Epstein's Island, right? So it's funny that like immediately when you go and say something bad about Trump, people always say the same thing. Always. On either side, they both say the same exact things at all times. So like if you go after Bill Clinton or you go after Biden, they go after Trump and vice versa. It's just funny. Like that's like saying, oh, I hate Trumpster Bob. Oh, well, I hate John Taylor. It's just, I don't know. There's something missing and askew with that where you have to go after the opposite side. Like you don't have to really go after anybody. You don't have to do that. Like if you could be a John Taylor fan and a Trump fan. You could be like, you don't have to like be on one side or another. Like you could see all angles. And I think that's something that Charmin is very ahead of her time. She's ahead of her time because she sees all sides. And I appreciate that. Even though she thought that Roy, set her up or, was tricking her, she's still willing to see his side. So that's something to learn. Like if she went after Roy for his views, like that would be like something not to respect. But the fact that she's like open to talking to Roy and is willing to hear his side, just be willing to hear other people's sides. You don't have to hate one person and like another person. Like you don't have to be the same exact person as everybody else. You don't have to be. I feel like there's a bunch of sheep out there that, oh, you either hate Charmin or love Charmin. Can't you just be like, okay, Charmin, I love that she's speaking out about being a victim, but maybe I didn't vote for the same person as her or whatever. Maybe I'm not a Democrat, but you could also like not be a Democrat, but also love Charmin. Do you guys know that? You don't have to all be sheep.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and it reminded me there was a conference that President Barack Obama did before he left office, and he was talking about kind of woke culture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said that, well, like there are no kind of absolutes in life. You don't have someone who's like 100% positive or 100% negative, and that the world is murky, and that you might like some things about someone and then not like other things about them. But everything's like a case by case thing. You don't have to just hate everything about someone or love everything about someone. You can kind of pick and choose a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so weird. I mean, just on Facebook and even in like Kermit and Friends chat, like the comments about the politics and the views are like all the same. And so if somebody hates Trumpster Bob, they hate everything he says. That's impossible. You can't tell me that Trumpster Bob doesn't have some words of wisdom in there somewhere. You can't hate every single thing about a person. Like this guy Bologna Sauce, he's like a troll. Like 80% of stuff he says, I'm like, oh, what a jerk. But then there's like 20%. I'm like, oh, that is kind of funny. Can't you just guys be a little open-minded? A little?
Yeah, just leave the door open like a
Yeah, leave the door open. Don't be a
bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why like Kermitarianism, to be a true Kermitarian, you need to be open-minded. Okay? You need to be open-minded. And when someone puts themselves out there, okay, when you put yourself out there the way Charmin has, unfortunately, the claws come out and they start attacking her for like, having fake tears. But that's it. Sherman, if she runs for president again, she's going to be ready. Absolutely, she's going to be ready this time. And I swear things happen for a reason, because this Kermit and Friends place is a very tough place. And I can't imagine.
If she can live in Kermit and Friends land, then she can survive anything anyone else can throw at her, because it's brutal sometimes.
She will win. She will win because she won't let her emotions get the best of her. Because I think that's something that we can all learn. Because when your emotions get the best of you and you start making emotional decisions, that doesn't always turn out the best way, right? So I think there's so many emotions going around here. And, people are being attacked. And you just learn to kind of keep going and hear people out and just take it. You got to just take it in life. You cannot be just like, oh, I hate this person. Like my brother, like, doesn't talk to me. He hasn't talked to me for like 5 years because of like something I said that I don't even remember. And,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, how could you respect that person? Like, you're going to get rid of someone in your life that's your sibling because of something they said or something they did, unless they did something to harm you or, something violent or something like that. Like, how could you just get rid of someone in your life that's a family member? It just, it's just really hard to respect someone like that and just hate someone and get rid of them in your life just for having like a view that's different than you. So that's something that I struggle with. That's why I want people here in a place that's like my home. Like, this Kermit and Friends is my home. I don't want to look at people like that. I want to say, okay, Charmin, maybe I don't agree with you about Roy, but I agree with you on standing up for yourself and talking about this, like, sexual abuse that people, I didn't even know till last week. And it really made me think hard when Charmin started talking about digital penetration in some cases being sexual abuse. I never thought that way. And it made me think differently about my experiences. And I said, man, thank God. If I got one thing out of Kermit and Friends my whole life, it's that she showed that to me. She showed me a different way of looking at things that it can actually clear up a bunch of things in my head about my own life and why I have different issues. I fell off on the table at a gynecological appointment. I fainted at like one of my first like gynecological appointments. I fainted off the table, and they said this girl has been abused. They said that, and I blocked that out, stuff like that. But Charmin talking about this and not blocking it out is one of the most important things I've ever seen anyone do. Anyone. By her talking about that and educating people, even if she's wrong about a lot of things that she says, she has done something so important here by opening up and just showing people there's a different side of things that you haven't seen, and that you can be open about things and you can be on the path to healing. You can be on the path to healing. You don't have to hide everything and look perfect, because so many people in this world are just trying to look so perfect and be like, oh, I voted for the right person. Oh, I did the right thing. I made the right choices. No one is perfect. We've all made stupid, idiotic choices very recently. And, if we're open about that, we could be on the path to healing. But if we hide it and hide our tears and just focus on looking cool and perfect and flawless, we're never going to get to where we want to be, ever.
I agree with you. And as well, like, one of the things that maybe ought to be remembered is that because of the nature of your format, that you are generous with time to the guests that you have on, that you give your guests a long time to speak. It's not like you give them a minute and then you throw them off. Like, sometimes you have guests on that talk for 25 minutes, half an hour. Well, if that happens, there's not one person on earth who can talk for half hour and you're going to agree with every single thing they say. But it doesn't mean they're bad people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of things. That Barry sex tape thing. I mean, I would have advised against that. But you know what? If they want to do it, if they want to have a sex tape, if they want to make $5 million off of it, please do that and enjoy it. I wouldn't do that personally at this age, but I was different. When I was, good thing they didn't have YouPorn when I was like a teenager, because I would have been on that. But now I'm just in a different place, and I just say to people, I don't really think that we should be judging each other based on who we voted on or what religion we are. Judge people on how they treat someone. So if you're treating somebody with insults and you're attacking their point of view, that's something that I can't stand behind, no matter what. But we still welcome those people here. We still support them and appreciate them. And we hope they share as much as someone like Charmin shares, because that's beautiful. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen on any show.
I agree. So regardless of everything that's happened, you're still open to Bob being on the show if he wants to be in future.
Yeah. No, Bob is, what is he? ECO. I don't know what he called himself. Let me ask him. Bob. Thanks, Dave. Bob. What are you? What's your title?
You made me the executive officer in charge, so I put in EOC.
Okay. So EOC. Bob is EOC. What can we look forward to on the wrap-up show? I think you're doing it with Wheezy here. Wheezy, what's going to be happening?
Well, there's so much to talk about. I mean, what a great message, first of all. That was a great message that you just gave everyone. I think it's important. It was beautiful. But the wrap-up show, I mean, I have a ton of questions for Bob myself. I would love to know.
There's more to the story. There's more going to come out on the wrap-up show. Trust me.
I'm sure. I really want Charmin to come on the wrap-up show because I would love the
Charmin,
connection between
and Rob DeHaven and John Taylor.
Well, here's what I want.
That would be great.
I want to know how Anonymous Woman is connected to QAnon. That is riveting to me. I have to know.
That will not come out. Well, she's not, but that was a cue off. Okay, I mean, because of the character and everything, she doesn't actually believe that, and it's not the case. But that was a, what do you call it in comedy? I forget what it's called. Lisa probably knows. I don't know.
Call what?
When it's parody. She did a bit of
parody.
parody.
Oh, it was a parody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. If you guys want to play my parody that I wrote for Bob, please somebody post your after show in the chat so people can go to it. If somebody wants to help, and can you post that? Are you able to? I don't know.
I want to say something for the record about Elisa.
Yes.
I have to come on here and blast out Charmin on all that nonsense Trump bashing. We need to stop all of that.
Yeah, nobody cares about Trump at all at this point.
They do. No, they do. But trust me. But here's the thing. And you can't deny his fans. You can't just go one way, your Democratic way. You said it yourself. You want a show where everybody can come together to get along. And here it is, right here on KF. I've never seen a better place for that platform. And you can't just run off with two women bashing Trump constantly without somebody jumping in here. And I can't jump in here with limited time without jumping down your throats about it. I mean, come on.
That's fine. No, I don't care.
I want to give you credit for something.
What?
In particular, of all people, I had to search deep in my soul and overcome my fear of being so embarrassed about this. I'm taking the state of Texas and the county of Tarrant County to court next year. I promise everybody here. I promise to God on a stack of Bibles over my 20-year-old case. Gonna do it because the judge was married to the DA. Bottom line, case thrown out. I'm gonna tell you, the person I'm giving credit to me coming and searching my soul for and discussing this with all my personal friends, they already know the story. And everybody else around me and everybody on here is Elisa Jordana. Because you told me, don't let them run you out, Bob.
Don't let them run you out. Don't let anybody run you out. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
Is this Coach Erica Love?
It is.
Hi, I'm good. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm proud of Bob.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. You know what? I'm proud of him for telling his story, at least what he was able to get out, and I'm proud of Charmin.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually love what you showed today. I thought it was hilarious. I do want everybody to know that we talked about all the hard stuff and all the hard stuff I was going to have to ask her because they were decrying her in the KAF community. They were saying all kinds of things about her kids, calling her a slingshot and everything else. I thought that was horrible. But at the same time, I knew that Charmin had good reasons for why she did what she did. And I wanted every single hard question to get out there, and she killed it.
Okay. Yeah. When I was watching it, I just thought it was like very tough on Charmin. And I don't know. I just thought I thought it was strange. I really did. I thought it was strange. I thought it was a strange interview. It seemed like you weren't her friend when you were interviewing her. And I thought that it came from a weird place. Yeah.
Pull Charmin up. Ask her.
Yeah, I mean, Charmin is interviewed by every kind of person. So she's interviewed by like trolls. So she doesn't even know at this point. She's been so many interviews. But I was watching it and I thought that it just seemed weird. It didn't seem like a friend was interviewing her. That's what I thought. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that Charmin would say that I went over the questions with her.
Yeah.
The ideas that were out there about her. And I think that she would say, I think you should bring her up. I mean, don't let me speak for her. I think bring her up, ask her what she thought of the interview. And if she thought I was fair,
I just thought it was weird, like how you quit here. And like you would call me every week and we'd have like these long conversations. And, then you just quit out of nowhere. You were talking to Mark Connors like a lot. And then you take Charmin for an interview, ask her really mean questions. And I don't know, it felt weird to me. I wasn't sure like where you were coming from. Like, why would you want to talk to me for hours every week? I don't talk to anyone from Kermit and Friends ever on the phone, ever. And you called me, we spoke for hours. You would really talk to me a lot about Kermit and Friends. I just thought it was weird that you left. And, it just gave me a weird vibe. I don't know.
I'm very confused. Is this about Charmin or is this about you and
No, this is about like your intentions. It's about your intentions, your Mark Connors connection. Why bring Charmin in?
Freeze, because I would not know Mark Connors if it wasn't for you. You wanted me to interview Mark Connors. You introduced me to watch his Joker show. I am very, very confused where you're coming from with that. That whole Mark Connors thing was about you, and it was to promote your show. So where you're coming from with that, oh, wow.
No, but I know you spoke with Mark Connors a lot before you quit Kermit and Friends. It just seems like a weird connection.
Actually, no, you don't know that, because I didn't start talking to Mark except for you, okay?
I didn't know he was contacting you. I did not know he was contacting you.
He wasn't contacting me. I did a wrap-up show for you, and he came on it because he was on your show. So you're the person that, I don't know what you were doing. And you tried to pretend like I was all for Mark Connors when I was simply doing you favors. I was doing a favor for you. And so you all of a sudden decided, oh, well, Mark Connors is talking to her. I don't know what he was saying to you behind the scenes, but I wasn't talking to him. I had a big, I don't know, I had a show with, an after show with me, him, and Charmin. It was a couple of other people on there. And I even told you about it. So I just don't know. I don't know what your deal is. You're being freaking weird because all of a sudden I'm talking to you about Charmin, and then you want to make it about me and you. And yes, we used to talk for hours. You used to call me and tell me all about your life and your crap and reveal all your different secrets. And I never told any of your secrets. It's no big deal to me. I don't know what your deal is. So why are you upset? What's your problem? I've only been nice to you.
It just feels like a very weird vibe. and it feels like there's something strange. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's probably Mark Connors related, but I don't know if it's
the only person who's deeply associated with Mark Connors and between you and me is you. You introduced me to Mark Connors. You told me to go watch his show. You wanted me to know about him. You even wanted me to talk about I heard his music and all of this kind of stuff. So you prepped me for all of that. And then I guess because you thought he was taking me from you, then you tried to attach me to him. But he can't take me from you because I'm nobody's. I'm mine. I'm my own freaking independent person. I don't know where you got that all confused in your mind. I had no idea that he was trying to take Leaf and Charmin or anybody else, but that's what you put in your mind. So quit acting like you're freaking jealous and that you own people. You don't own me. You don't own Charmin. And if somebody's being nice to you just for the sake of being nice to you, why don't you act like you appreciate it instead of going crazy because some guy named Mark, you think he can take them from you? Just to be clear, I can talk to anybody in this freaking community that I want because you don't own anybody. And you don't own me. And you were calling me, I was calling you, we were talking for hours and you were telling me secrets, and that's fine. I've never done anything to you that deserves to be anything but respected. So I don't know what your deal is. Why are you mad? Why are you mad?
Well, why did you quit?
Because of what you were trying to do. You were trying to attach me to Mark Connors. You said that I was pro him or this and that, and I didn't do that. He had an interview that you knew about on my show. I asked him the questions that you asked me to ask him, and I was very polite and friendly towards him because why should I be mean to somebody if I want them as a guest on my show? Okay? Charmin was the actual host on the show, and you were upset because she wasn't asking him hard enough questions. You were very pissed off about that. You wanted her to go after him, And I asked the questions that were in chat. I'm very fair to anybody who comes on my show. If there's something that needs to be asked, I will ask it. I don't blindside people or anything like that.
So you thought I blindsided you?
People accuse. No, what you did was just lie on me. That's what you did. You lied and said that somehow I was all friendly with Mark Connors, which was a lie. I was neutral. I don't know enough about any of these things to be on anybody's side. Period. End of story. I have no idea. I don't know what John Taylor did. I don't know what Kelly Taylor did. I don't know what Mark did. I wasn't there. I'm extremely new to this community. So no, I did not like it when you tried to pretend that I was on Mark's side, but I wouldn't like it if you tried to pretend that I was on Kelly Taylor's side. I don't know enough about anybody to be on anybody's side. I can simply ask questions and try to figure stuff out, just like anybody else. So are you mad because we're not having hours-long conversations anymore? What's your problem? I mean, if you can't be trusted, then you can't be trusted. So maybe you actually have a problem with yourself and not with me. I can guarantee you that Charmin was 100% on the same page as me about all the hard questions she was going to get asked. But it seems like you're jealous of me and Charmin's friendship now. What's your deal?
What'd you say?
But before I had the interview, with Charmin, I contacted you and Leaf You know it's true because I did.
I just feel like you have had all these bad feelings about me.
No, I didn't do anything to you. I've been nothing but nice to you, and you're trying to make this about you and me.
But it is.
It's not.
Then what's it about?
Sharman came on my show. I did not even talk about you. I said nothing about you. Before she came on my show, I 100% asked you about having her on the show. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. I just thought it was very strange.
Okay.
I thought it was
There's
strange.
nothing strange
You're
about
acting like I was calling you every week, Erica. It's just not the truth. You were calling me every week. It was weird. I thought that was weird. Yeah.
First of all, don't act like it wasn't mutual because I can pull up the phone records. And then why would you stay on the phone for hours with
Because I was
somebody
curious
you
what
didn't
you
wanna talk to?
wanted. No one does that.
You know, that you didn't want to talk to, you know? It was a mutual relationship, and now you're butthurt because we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore because you lied. And you tried to present me in a light that wasn't true. What, do you want me to call you? What are you complaining
No,
about?
I'm complaining.
Exactly what are you complaining about?
I am complaining that you're acting like I would call you every week. I don't call anyone. I don't like talking on the phone, so that's just not true. You would call me every week, and I appreciated that. And you were booking guests, and I appreciated that. And I felt like you left at a very strange time without any reason. And you didn't say any reason. You just continued to poach Kermit and Friends, grifting off of it, and just not ever talk to me again.
Oh, so somehow I am grifting off of you? I'm grifting off of you? I'm poaching Kermit and Friends? I asked you before I booked Sharman to book Sharman, and you said, great idea. Did you not?
I did say great idea, but then when I watched the interview, you just took.
And Lee said, I'm glad that you are booking more TNF content.
No, I was happy about the KNF content, but then when I watched it, you were just asking Charmin stuff that you knew would upset her, and you just took the most upsetting things from the interview that I did with her and just put it on your show, and there was like no humor or lightness to it. It felt like you just wanted Charmin to be upset.
It wasn't supposed to be humor or light, and she knew that. She knew that. She knew that I was.
But what is it for? What is it for then?
It was for her benefit, so she could get every single hard question out
No,
there.
but why? Her hard questions are every day. Her hard questions, everybody is always, don't you think that she needs like support and people making her feel good and happy and laughing and, you know, giving her a good day instead of just like attacking questions, gotcha questions. Oh, you don't have your kids. Tell me about that. Oh, kids. That is just, I didn't like it. It felt like poaching. It felt like grifting. It didn't feel nice. And I'm sorry to say that. And it didn't feel nice when you left, Erica. It didn't feel nice. You didn't have an excuse.
It wasn't her. It wasn't about you. It was about her, and it was for her. And she knew every single question, and she knew all about the kids' question beforehand. All about it. She 100% knew about the kids' question. She knew I was going to ask her that question. She knew I was going to ask the questions that had been floating around in the community. I personally think it was unfair for people to be saying things about her, and she wasn't there to respond to it. This way, she's there to respond to it. Elisa, you want to be some kind of victim as if I've done something to you. I've done nothing to you. What have I done to you?
Just being very
Saying,
strange.
Last week, she's back, you know, or, you know, what do you want? What do you want from me?
Just to be normal and just say the real reason why you quit. Just say the real reason. You haven't said a reason. You didn't say anything. You just gave me some paragraph, and I know what the real reason is, but you just won't say it. It's strange. Why can't you say it?
What are you talking about? The real reason is you just flat out lied on me on your show. There is evidence that I did an interview and I asked the questions that you wanted asked. Okay.
So why did you leave after the Mark Connors interview, love? Why did you leave after the Mark Connors interview? Why would you leave directly after that and quit?
Lied. Because you lied on me. You lied on me. You lied on me on your show. You tried to pretend like I was doing something that I wasn't. You tried to pretend that I was pro Mark when I wasn't pro anybody.
So you left coincidentally you left directly after Mark Connors interview? Correct.
You lied on me. You lied on me directly after the interview that I did on your behalf to promote what you had going on your show. You lied. And then you got all mad because I don't want to talk to you anymore. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Now you're mad because I'm friends with Sharman.
That's not why I'm mad.
She came on the show when I asked her beforehand, what is your problem? And then you get all excited because I'm calling last week, and now you want to make it up like I'm doing something, to you. I've done nothing but be nice to you, Elisa. Nothing but be nice.
So the reason you left is because of what? I still don't understand the reason.
You lied. You presented me in a light on your show that was false. It was 100% false. You tried to pretend like I was on Mark Connor's team, which I wasn't. I wasn't on Mark Connor's team. I wasn't on anybody's team except for your team, which is the only reason why I did the stupid show anyway. I was only promoting the content that was on your show. And you're mad because we're not talking on the phone.
No, I don't even like talking on the phone. And I don't like it that you said I call you on the phone because I don't.
You would talk on the phone with me for hours and tell me about your family problems and all of these things. And I would be kind enough to listen. And I never told any of your secrets to anybody, nor did I plan on it. I didn't even call today to talk about you and I. I just plan to continue being nice and respectful to you, but instead you want to make something about that I did for Sharman, again promoting the guests and people on your show, the storyline that's on your show, and you want to make it negative. Are you mad because I am talking to other people and not talking to you? What is your problem?
I think it is weird that you're talking to other people from Kermit and Friends, and I think it is weird. Yeah.
So I have to talk to you all the time to talk to people from Kermit and Friends. I have to talk to you.
I mean, I'm Kermit and Friends, so yeah.
No, so just to be clear, I want to address something really quick. I wasn't the interviewer for the Mark Connors show. I was just more so backstage. But then when hard questions were not being asked, I started to ask those harder questions. So I was the person who asked, was he a felon or not? And just to be clear, if you come on my show and you want to get your story out and people are talking a bunch of crap about you, you are welcome to come on and explain yourself, but we will talk before the interview, and I will let you know you will get these hard questions, and you can address them. So that will happen if you're on my show. So I don't think that's a big deal. Just because I like you, I don't not ask you hard questions. I think that's fair. What I don't do to people is what you do to people, which is bring them on the show and then pretend like they're something that they're not. I don't do that.
What does that mean?
What I don't do to people, I don't blindside them with fake information and then pretend like it's true. I don't do that to people. you like Bob. And so what you did for Bob, that is what I do for people. Bob had a really hard story. And he had hard stuff to get out there. And I so appreciate and I'm proud of him for what he did, because his story is really, really hard to tell.
Whose
and what
story?
you did for Bob, because you like him, is that you kind of help him understand what people were saying out in the community, and then you let him address it right there. So you ask Bob really hard questions. That's the exact same thing I did for Sherman, but because I did it, and you're mad at me because we.
Okay, what if I started going to your YouTube channel? Excuse me, Erica. Erica.
That's a bad thing about me.
What if I went to your YouTube channel?
On top of that, what you do to people is bring on guests and then ask them questions that they know nothing about and completely blindside them, and you try to hurt them. You try to make light of them. You try to make a parody of them. You make up stories and lies to perpetuate lies about them. A whole fake freaking narrative about them, whether they're in on it or not. That is ridiculous. So if you like them, you treat them well, and if you don't like them, then you want to treat them half like crap, as if they're doing something to you. I've been nothing but nice to you, even when you were mean to me, even when you were being difficult to me, and you know that's true. You owe me an apology. And I had somebody on my show, actually 2 people that you were trying to promote in your network on my show, and I told people to go watch your show.
Oh, you told my people to watch my show, Erica? You told my own people. Wait. You told my people?
I sent them to your Discord.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for sending my fans to my Discord. I just really appreciate that. Are you out of your mind? Erica, there would not be one person watching you if it wasn't for me. Listen to me. There would not be one person.
Your fans watch my show?
Yes, that's right. Your show has 2 viewers if it wasn't for me, and that's the truth. Get the fuck. Are you fucking kidding me?
Think that I didn't have my show before I came to KAS? No, absolutely not. I had my.
Thanks for sending all your fans over here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
100%. I had my show way before then. I've only had 2 people from your community on my show, and it was in promotion of you.
Thanks.
Way before I asked before I had Sherman on there, and you are the person who wanted me to have Mark on the show. So
because I was trying to help you, Erica.
No, you're not trying to help me.
Yeah, I was.
Something that you want me to do, and then you act like that I did something to you. I would never have had.
You did. You felt this way the whole time, and I knew it. I knew you felt this way. I knew you felt this way. I could tell. I could tell. Who?
I did not know who Mark Connors was.
Nobody does until Kermit and Friends. Nobody knew who Mark Connors was until Kermit and Friends.
You wanted me to interview him. You wanted me to promote it. Oh, you loved it. Oh, Erica, I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, do that. So I'm interviewing somebody from your community because you wanted me to do it, and now you're upset about it. That's ridiculous. I even asked the questions that you wanted me to ask because I'm trying to keep people interested in your show.
It's my own people, Erica. It's not different people. It's not new people. It's my people.
You wanted me to do it.
Because I was helping you.
I wouldn't have done it. This is a flat out fact. I wouldn't have done a Mark Connors interview if you did not want me to. Flat out fact. You called me. And it was about 9:00 at night, my time. You were all freaking excited because some guy named Joker was doing a after show for you. You were all freaking excited. Heck, I didn't know what any of it was about. Andy Dick had gone to some underground puppet show, and he was doing his Andy Dick thing, and you wanted me to watch all of this content before the show, before the Sunday show. You wanted me to get to know Mark Connors. You wanted me to look at his videos and all of this kind of crap. And then once I did that and he came on the show, you got even more excited and you wanted me to do an interview with him and find out more about his story. I did that as a favor to you because you wanted me to. So then something goes on between you and him behind the scenes. So then once I've done that interview, you started acting like I had a freaking personal relationship with him, which I would not know him at all, but for you wanting me to know him. So, no, I wasn't trying to promote Mark or not promote Mark. I was only doing it as a favor to you, period, end of story. And when it comes to Sherman, I simply 100% asked you about doing an interview with her. I got your permission prior to doing it. She was totally stoked and excited about coming on my show, and she was stoked and excited about answering the hard freaking questions, because people were out in the atmosphere just lobbing freaking accusations on her without her having the opportunity to address them very specifically. So the kid question was something that she wanted to talk about, because what kind of woman loses her kids? Well, the fact of the matter is she did not actually lose her kids in court. I was the person who helped her make that point. She didn't lose them. The kids decided to follow their dad because he was brainwashed.
Yeah, that's fucking worse, Erica. Why would you put that? Oh my God.
Lose them. So she didn't actually lose those kids in court. And I think that makes a big freaking difference, that she did not lose her kids. So you want me to be like, oh, we can still be like friends and stuff, or you want me to call you want me to listen to you and all of your problems and all your family problems and all of this, but yet you want to lie about me. How about I was just like, okay, I can't, let her lie about me, and I'll just be cool. I will just not involve myself so much, because obviously she's telling me all her secrets, but then she gets all upset because she has somebody else in her life, your relationship with Mark Connors, and he was telling you stuff back and forth. And so now you want to be mad at me. Well, I got news for you. I don't have a personal friendship with Mark. The only reason I know him is because of you. I don't talk to the Taylors. I do.
Yeah, but you were going to go off with Mark. Wait, answer this question. Answer this question, Erica.
On a regular basis.
Erica.
I have talked to Mark after you started going wacky wild. But you know what we don't talk about? We did not talk about you. We did not talk about you. And he wanted to tell me more about his case. I can only do this. And I told him this. Mark, I don't know what you did, because I wasn't there. I've been very, very clear with him. I don't know what you did because I was not there. And quite frankly, I think he's already been tried in the court system. So that's that. I agree with Sharman. He's already been tried in the court system.
Okay, did he offer you, Erica, did he offer you a show? Answer that question. Did he offer you a show? Did he offer you a show, Coach Love?
Whatever I have to say about his guilt or innocence is irrelevant. And I think I just heard you ask me a question about him asking me to do Ladies Talk. I'm so freaking glad that you brought that up, because 5 minutes, 5 freaking minutes before we came on your show, he goes, "Hey, do you want to do a ladies talking?" I go, "Oh, okay, like sure." And it's like no big deal. I had no freaking idea that you guys, you and Mark Connors, were freaking arguing about you and your talent. And just to be clear, just because I'll do an episode of Ladies Talk does not mean that I could not continue to do your show. I've been on other people's shows, and I didn't stop doing your show. I stopped doing your show because you lied about me, and you tried to pretend like because I gave Mark a quick I'll do a Ladies Talk show, that all of a sudden I'm against you. And I would think that you would be way more intelligent than to know I can do more than one show. I do my show. I had been doing my show. I had been doing your show, and I had been doing your after show. So obviously I can do more than one show at a freaking time. Obviously. So why you would think, and you didn't start attacking Leaf because he was talking to Mark Connors, but you did start attacking Charmin because she was doing Mark Connors. You did do that. So all of a sudden, Charmin was bad. I was bad. The difference is this. Charmin had clearly stated that she was pro Mark Connors. I, on the other hand, was not pro Mark Connors. So it bothered me. That you would just flat out lie when that's not what I was saying.
Wait, lie about what? I didn't lie about anything. I know what happened. I'm not an idiot.
You go back to your video and you said that I was pro Mark Connors. You said
you
that.
are. You were talking to him. You're doing shows with him. I know he's like you. Hey, Erica.
Mark Connors. You said that I was pro Mark
Who's
Connors.
this? Hold on, Erica. Who's calling you?
Give me a freaking show. He can't give me a show. I already have a show. And who does something because somebody's gonna let him be on a freaking YouTube show like it's a freaking prize? It's not a freaking prize. All you need is StreamYard, and you can have it. So
the reason why Leaf King can
under the freaking bus as if being, doing a show where you talk about subjects is a big freaking deal. That's freaking what I do all the time. That is what I do all the freaking time. I talk about different subject matters. So you were so convoluted, and you didn't even ask me. You didn't even ask me if I was pro Mark Connors. You just started saying it. You just started saying, when it's clear, if you look at the interview, I was the person asking the hard questions. So I differ with Charmin on this. She 100% believes Mark. I was still, on the fence and still saying, what does it freaking matter? Because he's already gone to court. That, to me, was a big freaking issue. And what I did not like about what you did is that you started saying that I was connected to Mark.
You were. I know he's making you promises, love, because he was doing the same thing with me and the same thing with Charmin, the same thing with everybody. He's saying, leave Kermit and Friends, come here. That's what he did with every single person. So stop lying. You're lying. You're disingenuous.
You said that he did that to you. Did you leave your freaking show? Did you leave your show? No, that would be ridiculous. Did Charmin leave your freaking show? No.
No, but you did. You were the one that did. You're the only one he got.
You want to know what? And you want to, because you lied. I don't know who else you lied on, but you lied on me. You lied on me because the bottom line is you said that I was pro Mark Connors. You said that I was leaving the show because Mark was going to freaking do some show with me, and none of that ever happened. None of that.
I know, because he's full of shit, that guy.
I never ever planned to leave your show. Certainly not to go with freaking Mark Connors. That was ridiculous. But what did make me want to leave your show is when you flat out lied, because some somehow you got jealous because of something you actually asked me to do.
I wasn't
You
jealous.
asked me to do it,
I wasn't
and then
jealous. You hung out with Mark and then you left. You hung out with Mark.
Then you started freaking saying that I was pro Mark Connors on the freaking video.
You met him and then you left, Erica. That's what happened.
Asked him hard questions. I'm the person that did that. Oh, I almost forgot. And when he started saying the crap about producing your show, who got on the phone and said, Elisa, he's saying that you wanted him to produce your show. Do you want to get on here and address that? Who picked up the phone to say that? Because I did not want him to be lying on you. I did not want that, because what I don't like is liars. And that's my issue with you. You lied on me. You pretended like I was pro something and I was connected to something that I wasn't. And I simply wouldn't have even been involved in it at all had it not been for you, because I didn't need it. I don't need it.
I didn't lie.
You 100% lied. You said that I was leaving your show, and this was prior to it. Prior to me leaving, you said that I was leaving your show because I was going to go do some freaking talk show with Mark. I got a call literally 5 minutes before we're on. Matter of fact, I'm already freaking backstage when I get the freaking call. And Charmin actually can attest this. And it was like, oh, you want to do it? I was like, oh yeah, yes, no big deal. No big deal, because I just think it's another freaking video like I've done for you in your community, promoting your stuff in the past. So all of a sudden, you take that and then make it like I'm doing something different than I had already done for you. And so now you're mad because I don't listen to you and you talk about all of your family stuff. And just to be clear, I would like you to mark that I've never told anybody any of the stuff that you've told me off scene. I mean, on our phone calls. And you yourself just admitted that you would be on the phone for hours. And yes, we would talk about Kermit and Friends, but yes, you would all tell me all of your family stuff. Your mother, your sister, your brother, your dad, all that stuff. And I'm still not going to reveal it because I don't want to reveal it. I didn't do anything to you, and I remained nice to you, even giving you respect well after I felt that you lied on me. Well after that. Even after Charmin and I talked and said that it would be a good idea for her to do an interview on the show, before I did that, I got your permission and I talked with Leaf. So there we go. And to your point, just to be really clear, I still called in and I wasn't talking about you at all. I didn't even call in to talk about you. I called in to promote Charmin again, and to say that I was proud about her, and to say that I was proud of Bob and them telling their stories. You decided to bring up all of this crap that you created. So stop being somebody who needs to create drama, because I was simply just going to continue to be nice to you and not bring up
fake and disingenuous, which I knew. No, you were going to be fake and disingenuous and poach my people. I know what you were going to do. It's very obvious. It's okay. You just say that. No, but just say that. If you felt all those things, if you felt all those things about me, why are you still in the community taking the people from it?
What people am I poaching? want to be a victim because you want to claim I'm poaching people. What people am I poaching? Because the Mark interview, once again, you wanted me to do that. That was a favor.
Okay, you took the Mark interview. He made you promises.
And the Charmin interview, you 100% knew about, and I got your permission before I did.
No,
it.
I was happy you were interviewing Charmin. Can you let me talk for a second, Coach Love?
In writing. So I don't get what I don't get what
I don't mind you interviewing the people here, but you obviously feel that I'm a liar and that all these bad things about me. Wait a second. No. You felt this the whole time. That's why you claim you left. Can I say something? I'm turning you down. Okay, you felt all these things about me, all these negative things about me, yet you were still very involved in the Kermit and Friends community, poaching the people and grifting off the show. You left directly after the Mark Connors interview, so he was making you promises that he couldn't keep because he has nothing going on at all for himself. So he's making you and Charmin false promises. Charmin's too smart for that. You are not. Why are you not?
I've been waiting for you not to be fake nice to me and actually, let's just talk like women about how things work. I can continue to respect you. I can continue to support you, which I have. I've continued to do that, even though I knew that you had business. I knew that you were probably sorry, and I was waiting for you.
Sorry for what? I didn't do anything. I just gave you fans. I gave you actual viewers.
Your ego's freaking huge. I get it, and it might take a long time for you to apologize. I knew that, so I decided to continue to support you, be nice to you, because I do think that you have a great platform with beautiful people in it. They fight each other on sometimes, but I continue to care about these people. While I was on the show actively, I built some really great friendships, and I met a lot of nice people. And I told you on camera and off camera how much I care about the people in these communities because they bear their heart. And I love that about them. I I think they're beautiful people.
Yeah, but that's not you, Coach, because you're fake as hell. You're so fake.
You called me one day and asked me, should you get rid of Bob? Because there were a lot of people complaining about Bob. And I said this. I said, he is, good for your show. I get why he's there, and he might be rough around the edges, but he seems to love you, and he seems to love the community, And so even when people are rubbing people the wrong way, I still really try to find a way to look for the best and see how they're adding to the community. And I think all of these people add a lot to the community. I think that you've done a beautiful job accepting people into your network. I think you struggle. I honestly think you struggle with this, though. I think you struggle with the truth sometimes, and I think you struggle with your ego because the moment that I wasn't listening to your stories, all the time, you found it very difficult to go ahead and apologize to me. But Elisa, I must tell you, I think you're doing a good job. You just need to quit trying to set people up, and stop. The moment that you're not getting away, don't try to play the victim or anything like that. Don't lie anymore. And the next time that, you ask someone to do something for you, continue to be grateful. And if somebody
I asked you to do that, and then you left. You left immediately after I introduced you to Mark Connors, then you left. You were gone.
No.
Yeah, that's what happened.
No, because there was about 3 weeks of information that you were sending me. You wanted me to look up stuff and listen and because I didn't know him from a can of paint. I didn't know him from a can of paint at all. I did the interview to help support and promote you. Period. That is it.
Oh, come on.
So when 100% come on. what else do I have it for?
I don't know.
Him. He's not. Yeah, you don't know because there is no other reason. You asked me to do it. So why would you ask me to do something and then be all excited about it? And then it was, I just don't get it. I do not get it.
Because you left with no explanation at all. You thought I was a liar and all these bad things. You thought I set people up and you're being disingenuous.
I saw you completely portray me in a false freaking light. And the false light.
Because you left. You left with no excuse, nothing.
You said that I was connected to Mark, and I believed his story as if I was cheerleading for him, and that was 100% false. I don't like it. I did not like being connected to that at all. I did not like it.
So then why'd you do it? Why'd you leave? All right, never mind.
And I wouldn't have done that story had it not been for you. You wanted me to do it.
But then you left immediately after. Oh my God, you're not like, this is not making sense. I gave you a story to do. You did it. And then you left with that guy who is a freaking lunatic. Okay. That's just what it comes down to. You didn't give a good explanation.
Where did I go? Where did I go with him? What did
I have no idea.
Guess what? I've never done a show with him. Where did I go? Where did I go?
No clue.
No
clue.
I didn't go anywhere. I did not go anywhere with him. I didn't do anything with him at all. At all.
Okay, so I'm going to call you a liar. Wait, hold on. Erica, wait. If I called you a liar and said like you backstab people and all these bad things you're saying about me, and then I went to your YouTube channel, took all your guests and asked them questions that were upsetting, how would you feel about me? Yeah, if I went to your YouTube channel, started contacting people.
I took, first of all, I would have never had this kind of conversation on an open forum. I knew that you wanted to, what I would say, clear the air. No big deal to me because you know that you were wrong. You know that you were wrong. And
about what?
I've just been kind of chilling out, still being nice to you, being respectful to you because I feel that you know that you made a mistake. You know that I am a very respectful and kind person, and I just kind of let things unfold. You know that about me already. So you knew I would give you an opportunity to apologize, and you knew that I would continue.
Apologize for what? For what? I didn't do anything to you.
You know, because you know that you portrayed me in a false.
No, I didn't. I didn't do anything. All I said is you talked to Mark Connors, then you left. That's all I said. I didn't say anything bad about you.
You did that.
I didn't say anything bad about you, but I knew you were disingenuous, and I was right. That's the truth. That's right. You faked it. Coach Love, you faked it. You faked it. You faked it. Fake.
You also know that I asked you even before interviewing Sharman. Not only did I ask you,
but you don't like me. Why did you ask me? If you don't like me and I'm a liar and I'm all these bad things, why did you ask me for permission?
First of all, I thought it would be a very good idea if I went ahead and tried to clear the air with you as well. And
but you didn't clear the air. You just said, "Can I interview Sharma?" I said, "Yes, have fun."
Continue to support your platform, and you can't say I haven't because I have. I have continued to support your platform.
How so?
You cannot say that I have not done that.
How?
I have certainly continued. I've certainly continued to do that. And if you thought I was such a bad person, why were you, texting me saying, "Oh, you're my friend," and all this? So that is why I continue to believe that maybe finally you would go ahead and we would put this behind us, and you would just say, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. No big deal." I would have easily forgiven you. So yeah, you were texting me talking about I was your friend and all of this kind and all of this kinds of stuff. Which I do agree, we had that kind of relationship. So don't sit up here and pretend like, "Oh, well, if you didn't like me so much, why did you hang around?" I still cared about you, and you know that, and that is why I still supported you. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're trying to pretend like I was doing something to you, and I wasn't doing anything to you. I was still supporting you, even though you did something that hurt my feelings. That is the very bottom line. I continue to support you, even though I didn't like what you did, and you were still continuing to be kind and sweet to me. So I figured we'd eventually come to an agreement on that. If you can treat me with respect, I can treat you with respect, which is what was going on. That's exactly what was going on. And when you're in my community, in my community or on my Facebook page, looking for stuff, looking at stuff or liking stuff or whatever, do I take it? Oh well, she did this to me, so then she's back. She's being fake. No, I look at it and say, oh, okay, she's still trying to work through our problems.
We didn't have a problem. I didn't know we had a problem. That's the problem here. I did not know we had a problem. You quit out of nowhere. Nothing happened, and you've been holding all this animosity against me. So that's the problem.
You're trying to say you're the person that tried to say just now live in front of everybody that I'm posting your guest. How am I posting your guest? Then one guest I interviewed from your program, you told me to do it, and the other guest I interviewed from your program, I got permission prior to me doing it. And then also, well, you're trying to say, oh, well, you're in my community, even though you don't like me. No, I don't like something you did, which is completely different from not liking you. And I continued to support you in the things that you were doing. Why? Because I cared about you, Elisa.
Nah, you don't know what support is. You don't know what support is.
I've said that about you, and I've said that about your community. So I'm not sure what kind of victim you're trying to play. I'm not quite sure. And continuously, I would have never tried to confront you on your show and say, the difficulties in our relationship. I wouldn't have done that because I don't feel like it needed to be aired out in front of all of your Kermitarians. But apparently, you wanted this done. Apparently, you wanted this done. So, fine. If this is what you wanted to do, then fine. That's fine.
I mean, I'm not happy about this, Erica. I don't like that you have been feeling this way about me.
I'm not happy. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not happy about this either. You want to know why? Because I continued to want to support you and support your activities. I continued to do that, and you did that. You did the same for me. But the difference between what you've done and what I've done, I don't pretend as if you are doing something to me. I did not pretend that. I did not pretend that. And the difference between you and me is I did not go on my show and say, hey, Elisa loves Mark, or Elisa loves this person, when it's clear you might not have anything to do it. I did not set you up. For instance, I could go and say, oh, Elisa likes this criminal and she's all about this criminal and some guy that I freaking introduced you to. I didn't do that to you. I've brought several guests to you on your show. That one guy, I was like the guy that smokes pot and has this pot industry thing. I didn't go freaking on my show and say, oh, well, Elisa promotes the pot industry and she promotes drugs and all of this kind of stuff. Just because I had him on your show for you, I didn't do that. That's literally what that's literally what you did. That's literally what you did.
Erica, you're leaving out that you left with that guy. You booked him. I booked him on your show, and then you left with him because he gave you promises and he tried to take you away from Kermit and Friends. I know that's what happened.
What? Nobody
I don't know.
promised me a freaking YouTube show. I already have one. I already have, and he didn't freaking give me freaking promises is no different than, freaking other people asking me to be on their show. Hey, come on my YouTube show. That's no big deal. Everybody in this community ask one another to be on their shows. Everybody does that. Be on my show, be on my show. Everybody is on everybody else's show. But you decided to take it personally because Mark asked me to be on his show. That's crazy. And furthermore, I was never even on his show. I was never even on his show. Never. So if I don't know, Johnny B asked me to be on his show, or Whitsan, or Bob, or whoever the heck else asked me to be on their show, are you going to get mad about that too? Quit being controlling and possessive. I'm not a thing. I'm an actual human being. So because Mark asked me to be on a show, and I go, yeah, I'll do it. All of a sudden, he's a freaking prize. He's no big deal. He's just like anybody else in this freaking community, just like anybody else. So why is that a problem, Elise? Why is that a problem, Elisa?
Because you left immediately after talking to him. You left after talking to him. Okay, I'll tell you.
Mad if I was on Whitsan's show?
You could be on anybody's show that you want, but at least be honest about you. We're talking to that guy who was taking people away from Kermit and Friends. You left. You're calling me a liar. You're saying bad things about me.
At that freaking point, the only time I had talked to him was when he had been on my show and the call that I got 5 minutes before being on your show. That had been, at that little point, that had been the only time that I had talked to him. So I had talked to him once again.
Wait, hold on. Some people have questions. Hold on, Erica. Yes, John, are you there?
Hi, Coach.
Wait, Coach, Fireman John's asking a question.
Coach Love, are you still in touch with Mark? That's why I got two questions. That's
good question.
Content for your show. So a question for me is this:
I don't think she heard.
Did you and Mark conspire to create content for your show by pretending like, oh, he's going to still Coach Love away? Did you do that? Did you and Mark do that?
I can vouch for Coach Love.
Okay, wait, somebody's vouching for you.
Well, she didn't do any shows with Mark or anything after she left. She did do a show with Mark's wife, like a ladies' talk show, but that was it.
All right, thanks, Mush, sweetheart.
The only person who would have told you that I was going to be on Mark's show would have been Mark or Sharman, because it was a
John Taylor and Mush.
Literally right before. So who told you that? Who told you? Because all I did was say a quick yes, like, yeah, sure, no big deal.
Are you still in touch? Are you still in touch? Are you still in touch with Mark Connors?
Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? That's what I want to know. Who told you that? I want to know, since it was just 5 minutes, it was like only 5 minutes. It was only 5 minutes.
Erica, I would love to continue talking about this. It's just too much for me.
I want to know who told you I was going to be on Mark Connor's show, because it was literally only 5 minutes. Like, a quick yeah. Sure, I'll make an appearance. Yeah, no big deal. It was a no big deal kind of thing. So I want to know who said it, and then who made it seem like I was being taken away. That's what I want to know.
Because it was interesting timing, Erica. You were talking to him, and then you were gone.
For me being on anybody else's show, there's no difference. It is no different for me being on anybody else's show. So I want to know, why was it a big deal? I want to know, why was it a big deal? Why was it a big deal? Why?
Because you left. You didn't give a reason. You continued to be in the Kermit and Friends community.
Why was it a big deal?
Because the guy was trying to infiltrate the whole place and take all the people, and he was.
Why was it a big? Why was it?
Because you were just
because
like
it's 5 minutes before. 5, literally 5 minutes before your show, I get a phone call that says, "Hey, would you be on my show?" Literally 5 minutes. So
all right, Erica.
A quick because
Erica,
it's like,
nobody's gonna win this.
He had been on my show. So I'm like, oh, okay. You've been on my show, fine. I'll do a show. I'll do a YouTube appearance for you. No big deal. You've been on mine. I'll do one for you. No real big deal. So why was it a big deal? Number one, and then number two, who told you that? I was just like, sure. Tell me that.
So would you have continued to be on Kermit and Friends if you hadn't met Mark Connors?
I would have continued to be on Kermit and Friends had you not pretended like I was in connection with him. That's the deal. You tried to pretend like I was in connection with him. You tried to tie me to somebody I didn't even know.
So why didn't you just say, instead of quitting? Wait. Instead of quitting, why didn't you just say?
No. And first of all, and just to be clear, I did not quit. I took a break, and I said that. And as a matter of fact, I have the documentation to do that. I said. I took a break, and I said I'll continue. I said to them that I'll continue to support you. As a matter of fact, even after I stopped appearing, I still booked you the last guest that you were depending on from me. I still did that. So the following commitment that I had, I still did that for you. So I didn't leave you high and dry on anything that I had committed to you at all. I didn't.
Erica, I'm not mad about anything.
And so I did that for you. I did that for you.
I'm not mad at anything. I just think it's odd.
I'm not
odd.
You know what?
Like your opinion on things is odd.
I'm not mad at you either, because you want to know what? I get that your show is a freaking parody and that you use people for content without their permission. I did not know that before. I did not know that was something that you did. I did, because still at this point, I'm very new to this community, and I was just trying to get to know people. The only person I was really connected with, like I talked to, was you, and I was just doing my very best to support you. I would go out of my way to book guests for you and have one on for you every week. Some of them were your style, and some of them were not. Now I realize I really should have more eccentric people for your community, because that's what they like. But let me say this. That's not what you asked me for. You did not ask me for eccentric people. You asked me to book business people, and
I don't think I said that. I really don't think I ever said that. There's no way that I said that.
People along those lines. You asked me for.
I mean, I appreciated that you did that, but I never said that.
Business people and stuff like that. You wanted serious guests.
I never said that.
I want serious guests.
I definitely wouldn't have said that.
So that is what I gave you, and then you started saying that all you're booking me as authors. Well, if you want eccentric people, tell me you want eccentric people. If you want serious guests and authors and things of that nature, that's what you got, because that's what you asked.
I never asked for any author.
That is what you asked me for. You asked.
I guarantee you, I've never asked for an author.
Yes.
I've never asked for a business person.
What you admitted, we would talk. You and I would talk about who was coming on. Not one single person I brought on was a freaking surprise to you.
I appreciated everybody that you brought on, but I certainly never asked you. You said
if it was an author, you knew it was an author. If it was a cop, you knew it was a cop. If it was just a kind of regular old freaking army guy, you knew that. Every single person was run past you, run past you every single time. So post your community? No, ma'am. I brought people to your community, the people who you asked me to bring to your community. So get your facts and your story and your freaking whole mind right, because your thinking is wrong. Literally, if somebody is doing what you're asking them to do, then the word you should be saying is, "Oh, thank you." Now, if you don't like what I've done, then what you can say, "Hey, well, I asked you for this, and I asked for it, but it's kind of not what I necessarily wanted. So let's do this next time. You know, every single time. Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. Do it again. Do this. Do that. More. You loved it. You loved it. So I don't know. I do not know why you're so unhappy. Why are you so unhappy?
I think that you have all these feelings about me, obviously, that I didn't know. And you were continuing. When you asked for permission to interview Charmin, I knew it was disingenuous.
I think that I think that I continue to be nice to you and respectful to you and support you.
So fake. So you're being fake. That's okay.
I think that's
I'm happy I know.
I mean, because you were doing you were doing it for me. I was doing it. I was doing it for you. And the only thing that I can ascertain is now you're mad because I don't sit up and listen to you on the phone for hours on end about you and your family problems and your personal feelings about Andy, Dick, and whoever else that you were sleeping with at the time or hanging out with at the time. I feel like you're freaking hurt about that. All you had to do, Elisa, was continue to be nice and respectful to me, and I was being nice and respectful to you. You were being supportive towards me. I was being supportive towards you, and there was nothing wrong with that. From my perspective, it seems that you had some confusion. I was giving you an opportunity to work it out, which I think is fair. You know, I think it's fair for me to do. And I can support you along the way, and you can support me along the way. And all of a sudden, you are doing it again. You're taking what people don't understand in the background and trying to make it like I'm doing something to you. I can't believe, of all people, you would call me a poacher when I brought the people that you've asked for to this community. And you know that I have said, oh, I care about the people in this community. So it would be
all right,
different.
Erica, I have to go to the wrap-up show. I'm sorry. I have to go to the wrap-up show.
If I was going around your community and say, oh, hey, would you be on my show? Oh, hey, would you be on my show? And then not telling you about it. First of all, number one, I really want to just nail this home. The only two people I've had from your community on my show was Mark freaking Connors, which you asked me to do, and Charmin, which I asked your permission for. So quit acting like I'm doing something to you. You're no victim. I'm not doing anything to you. The only thing that changed in our relationship is I didn't listen to you and your problems for hours on end. That's the only thing that changed in our relationship.